snaps. Jordan, good luck edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I really want to get our YouTube numbers up. How do I do that? Do I have to tell people to subscribe and that kind of thing?
We'll blast out the link. We'll blast out the link today.
Link it up.
I am convinced that people want to scroll on Twitter. So when we tweet out that we're on video, I always see our numbers like double, but then it fades because people want to see what else is going on. I want people on a YouTube channel. I also want a Wilde and Tausch YouTube channel, but Jesse's not doing that for me. Edition. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios and back where he belongs, in his undisclosed location. He is the boldest of the bold and the beautiful, some might say. He's the Packers Hall of Famer. He's Mark Tauscher. Tausch, hi. How are you?
No, I give Scals. Scals by far won the Bold-a-thon yesterday. Scalzo won the Bold-a-thon, and then I don't even know if there's really a close second.
I don't think there was. Yeah, it was
a lot
two
of
of
positivity. Jimmy Rutledge. I'd probably go Rutledge second because of his passion that he brought with it.
Strong, yeah. You putting Jim Polzine and Evan Cohen at the bottom because they both
Jim
included
Polzine
me.
and Evans both sucked. Yeah, it's disappointing. Yeah, I think I don't want to put this out there. I don't know how our numbers would be with the Bold-a-thon if we're going to continue or if this will be discontinued. But if it is continued, no offense to Jim and to Evan, but they're gone.
Wow. They've been booted.
Is that fair? I mean, Jesse, listen, you always have to refurbish and you have to continually improve.
You missed a block or two in your day.
No, I did. No,
we didn't give up on you.
At some point they do. Yeah, at some point
11 years later, maybe.
It kind of felt. Remember Nathan Peterman? Remember that guy stepped in as the backup quarterback for the Chargers or the Jaguar, whoever it was.
Bills.
Buffalo.
And he
nailed it.
And
he'll get there.
He threw 5 interceptions in his first start.
He's still in the league, I think.
He's still in the NFL, which is again, can't judge it off of one day. So we'll see. That was maybe a little harsh. Especially since Jim hasn't written whatever he's going to put together, so I should probably be nicer to Jimmy P. But
no kidding.
When you put Wilde as your centerpiece for your boldness,
you question your judgment. Yep.
So last night we had our annual. I've gotten kind of out of the fantasy football world.
Why?
The injuries and. I didn't enjoy it as much as I used to.
Didn't you suggest on a recent program that there should be some sort of a service where someone handles like an assistant general manager?
Yeah. No.
So you get all the camaraderie and none of the work?
You do the draft and then that's it. Yeah, I would be fine with that. I think I got into it where I was in 4 or 5 leagues and I got burned out.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
I thought initially, when my NFL career ended, it was really fun. The first 2 or 3 years, I was in every. Oh, yep. Somebody, hey, you want to be in a fan? Yep. And then it's hard to wean yourself out of because you're in it, and then you start slowly. I think I'm going to pass this year. Last year was really difficult. There was a Reedsburg league that I just decided I just didn't want to do, and I was let's do it one more year. I said no, I got to cut it off. I'm done. But this one I will stick with as long as Max, because this is more Max. He's running it.
Okay.
Father-son. You got 8 father-son combos. We draft 4 teams, and then again you just play. That you don't have to worry about injuries. If something happens to Aaron Jones, pluck in A.J. Dillon.
Or
something
Emmanuel
happens
Wilson.
to Christian Watson. You hope Romeo Dobbs' hamstring's not bad. And then you go to Samari Toure. But what I am always intrigued by is where the Green Bay Packers go in this draft. We've been doing this draft now. I want to say I've been doing this 12 or 13 different years.
Wow.
Last year was the first year I did not make the playoffs.
How did you play without a son? If it's a father-son league.
At first, it was just there was some teachers in town and some of my sheep's head crew, and we did one. And my older brother, and I did it, and we had raging good success. So much so that the rest of the league quit. We won or took second place every year for 9 years.
Wow!
And I think at some point people were like, all right. So then it morphed into more of a father-son for the last 5 years. And last year was the first year we missed the playoffs. So we want to get back. We want to be
on Hard Knocks.
So Max was dead set on getting Philadelphia. He thought we'd get Philadelphia. And Jesse, you being a fantasy football player, will appreciate this. It wasn't, you finished 8th, you get the first pick. We do a random draw, and then you get to pick where you want to draft.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it. Best way to do it.
By far. And normally you'd think, I want the 1 spot. I want the 2 spot. That's great, but then you're going to end up with New England or the Texans or somebody last, so you want to jostle, where can I get the team I really want? Well, we wanted Philly. Max thought that the Kansas City Chiefs was going to go 1 overall. Shicky had different plans. Now, his kid's in college, and pretty smart kid. They took Philly out from under us. We had the 4th overall pick. We took the 2 slot. We wanted the 2 slot. Philly goes. Max gets irritated. I said, slow down. I then put up that 2 spot as an offering point for trade. Anybody interested in trading out? Because I want the 8-9 spot with this because I want more. I don't think there's that juggernaut team that's got 4 or 5 starters on it. Kansas City, you're going to start Mahomes and Kelsey. I don't know who else you're going to start. Pacheco? Maybe. So I thought I wanted 8-9. We found my boy OG said, I will trade the 8-9 spot for the 2 spot. He wanted the Chiefs. Bam. Trade. Handled it. So we ended up at the 8-9 spot. We ended up taking, and I don't know how you guys will react to this. We really wanted the Miami Dolphins at 8. Well, Danny from Bristol, who calls into the show quite a bit, he snaps him and Will, and he has 2 kids, so he's got a little bit of an advantage. 2 boys. He has a little bit of an advantage.
So what, he gets 2 teams?
No, he gets 1, but he takes the. They have 3. They have more manpower.
Triumvirate
to study the
yeah.
He grabs the Dolphins right before us at 7.
Very, very, very frustrating.
I wanted the LA Chargers. I had them 2 on my big board. I would have taken them at 2. The Los Angeles Chargers are available at 8. So you got Keenan Allen, you got Herbert, and you got Austin Eckler. Boom, 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 starters. Bam. 3 starters. Boom. And they have another guy I don't even really know about. I think he's pretty good. And then with the 9 slot, we took the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I think we stretched a little bit with the Jags. Max took the Jags.
Ridley's going to have a good year. Ridley's going to be big. Yeah.
Okay.
I got him in the Aunt Betty League.
Bringing it back to what people care about, which is the Green Bay Packers.
9-10.
Yeah. The Green Bay Packers. Last year I told you they went 17th overall. And I was shocked by that. And you know what? With a bunch of homers, we have all Packer fans except for Shicky. Everybody's a Packer fan. And the fact that Green Bay went 17 last year, by the way, their production, they had a whole spreadsheet last night. The group's gotten pretty analytical. They should have been selected 16 based on their numbers last year. So
Seth Walder had him at 16.
Jesse, where did the Green Bay Packers go last night in this all-team fantasy draft of 8 different fathers?
The way you set this up, it sounds pretty low. I'd say, I don't know, 24?
Jason? 20.
Nailed it.
Well, you texted it to us last night.
Oh, that's what that was. Oh.
Spoiler alert.
20th pick in the draft. So, again, you're doing this based on how many starters you're going to get, how many players. And with all Packer homers, we were in a worse position than we were last year as far as where the Packers landed. That was what I found interesting about last night's draft.
I am very leery of asking follow-up questions to this because, look, you always say you like constructive criticism. That was a very long path to getting to the Packers being 20th.
Are you allowed to trade? Are you allowed to trade the pick, or did you make that rule up last night? Like, I feel like that would have stirred it up.
It's going to be my question,
no bylaws.
Too.
As I always tell you guys, whether it's Canyon or Euchre or a different board game, Taboo, I am always trying to improve things. This was a case where it benefited us. It benefited OG. He felt good about it. And everybody thought, yeah, if you want to trade, you can trade. What's the big deal?
Who's OG?
Jerry O'Gara. He's a frequent private texter to the show.
Okay. Thought maybe Jerry Gray had joined your group because Jerry Gray is the OG up here in Green Bay. All right. I'm sorry that you didn't get the Dolphins. I'll be curious to see how this plays out. I don't feel like it's all that surprising that the Packers went later last year. They didn't have Devontae Adams anymore. Their number one wide receiver was Alan Lazard. So, yeah, you still had Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback, but I can see why they fell last year. And this year, even before your number one and number two wide receivers are questionable for Sunday's game because of hamstring injuries, a lot of unproven young commodities surrounding the first-year starter at quarterback. So unless it's branding or homerism, they don't belong going higher than 20th, I wouldn't think. If they were the Jaguars, who you got at 9, with the exact same players, maybe they go even lower, right? First-year starter, bunch of unproven rookies and young players at the skill positions, and then a running back tandem. I don't know the bylaws. Apparently there aren't any. But how many running backs do you play each week?
2. Well, no, there's 2 flex. So 2 running backs and you have 2 flex. So you could play 4 running backs if you want.
And if they would have had Jonathan Taylor on their team, maybe they would have gone higher as well. We'll talk about that and how Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon reacted yesterday. First time they've been in the locker room since that news broke. And yes, the Green Bay Packers head into their regular season opener, the dawn of the Jordan Love era, potentially without their number 1 and number 2, whichever one you see as 1 and 2, but both of them dealing with hamstring injuries, Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs.
Musgrave season, huh?
Yeah, Jaden Reed season and Dontavion Wicks season, Malik Heath season, Samari Toure season. We'll talk about that coming up as well. So whoever got them at 20, good luck. We'll see how it plays out for them on Sunday. We'll talk more about that after Tausch tells us about one thing that always plays out great, and that is switching to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to replace your windows.
Yeah, there's no doubt if we were doing a fantasy draft on windows, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin would be number 1. And now is the time to replace your drafty old windows, not during the dead of winter. Pella has a great deal going on. You pay as low as $19 a month per window and $75 a month on patio doors. The installation is completed. No mess, no hassle, just leaves behind nothing but perfect results. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. 6.99% APR financing for 120 months. Certain restrictions to apply. See showroom for detail. This offer ends not the 31st. I guess there's only 30 days in September, so that's when it ends.
Where does this? Why are you obsessed? You're obsessed with it. You want an extra day?
No. I always get confused. You know, July and August have it, and then it's like, oh, September. I feel like there's a better way. I do. I haven't come up with it yet.
Like, it's always been this way.
Jesse, that's like the lamest thing that people say. Well, it's always been that way, so you just do it. Okay, great. That's how you want to go. I think there's a better way to do this calendar than what we do.
I appreciate that you are always looking to improve things or change the team fantasy league Which the Packer ranter. Are your viewing numbers dropping? I don't know. There's a lot about Tausch's Fantasy League. But great idea to engineer a trade.
I'm going to say this, Jay. Everybody that loves fantasy football, and there's a lot of people that love it, this is the way to go. This way is much better than drafting individual
Maybe people
players.
like the labor-intensive way, though. You don't.
But I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying from my point of view, this is the way to go.
You're like an absentee owner. That's what you want to be.
Who is?
You want to own the team and then not have to do anything all season long.
I want to hang out at the draft and then I just want to be done with it. Yeah, that's a fair point. That is what I want.
Yeah, you're not meddling like.
Erica, Milwaukee, great question. What about the Jets?
Erica, you're killing me.
12th overall. 12th.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew that question would come up. Thank you, Eric.
The Packers are opening the season on Sunday. We're going to talk about it. I promise. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Before and after every Wisconsin football game, the party rolls on with ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
Hey Badger fans, Colin Russo here. Join Adam Mertz and former Badgers Chris Orr and Brad Nortman for ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Pregame 4:30, previewing Wisconsin at Washington State. Postgame immediately after final whistle. Don't miss it.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, before and after every Wisconsin football game on 94.5 ESPN.
The Milwaukee Fire and Police Commission is inviting high school seniors and those recently graduated to consider applying for police aid or fire cadet positions. Gain experience, earn tuition reimbursement, and set yourself up for a high-earning career in the criminal justice or fire science field. For more, visit city.milwaukee.gov/FPC. That's city.milwaukee.gov/FPC. Also text 414-519-6190 for more information.
Looking for your next night out? Q Club of Wisconsin is the hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what you got going on over there, buddy?
Hey, Gary, there's so much going on here. We've got all your favorite teams on our TVs, more pool tables than you know what to do with, and live local bands playing on Saturdays. Plus, we got bocce leagues all summer long that we're signing teams up for right now. And, of course, our fish fry piled high on Wednesdays and Fridays.
And stop by for brunch on Saturdays and Sundays at 9 a.m. Check out QClubOfWisconsin.com.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan, Minnesota, and Nevada. Plus, Wisconsin Golf Trips is even booking custom packages for Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, wow. Let's hit them up.
WisconsinGolfTrips.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde. Our family loves when Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles arrives at our home. And now football season has arrived. So try the green and gold Kringle. Traditional pecan Kringle and cheesecake Kringle topped with green and gold sprinkles. A crowd pleaser at any game day party. Order today at Kringle.com or 1-800-4DANISH. Easy to remember. Kringle.com or 1-800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles. Not just a treat, it's a tradition. And the official pastry of ESPN Wisconsin.
Oh, how great it would feel to have your 20-year-old knees, shoulders, hips, and back.
You know, you don't think about your pains when you're in your 20s or 30s, but you wish you could get that body back when you're in your 60s. I think QC did that for me.
For Patrick, here in Milwaukee, it started with a simple phone call to QC Kinetics.
One day I was driving and I just heard the radio and I pulled over and took the number and I called them when I got home.
Maybe that's you, and you're listening right now. Why wait? QC Kinetics Regenerative Treatments uses your body's own own natural biologics to heal and restore damaged tissue without invasive surgery or harmful drugs. And as for the results,
my knees are as good as they were when I was in my 20s. I'm really happy with what happened.
For Patrick, it's like QC Kinetics turned back the clock. Now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Heading up north this summer for some golf? Be sure to book a tee time at the Ball Golf Course, an Arnold Palmer masterpiece just north of Milwaukee on the way to Kohler. It's the best destination for your next Wisconsin round of golf. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the bog.
We don't want you on our team.
You're not the right fit for this job.
You're too slow and fast.
Don't you care how you look?
Weight bias hurts. Go to stopweightbias.com. A public service message from Obesity Action Coalition.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Everybody knows I got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me. Now everybody wants a blast of magic, 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 magic. Oh.
The Packers open the season at Chicago on Sunday, but why would we talk about that when we can talk about Tausch's Fantasy League? Let's go to the phones.
Oh, I'm glad we're all on the same page. That's good.
Let's talk
Bears
to Ron.
Fans are nervous. Jason.
No, we're not. I'm sorry. We're not talking. We're not talking about that. We're talking about fantasy football.
Waddle and
Please.
Sylvie's insider from the Packers. I talked to those guys yesterday, and wow, nervous Nellies down there in Chicago.
Let's go to the phones. Talk more fantasy football. Let's talk to Ron on the
Love
key.
being those guys insider. Love
Ron, welcome to Fantasy Football today. Great to have you. Turn down your radio, please.
I love no radio. I'm telling you guys, it's just you guys don't like a certain provider calling into this phone number. So I love, Thursday, the new format, Fantasy Football Thursdays on Wilde and Tausch. Big fan. I know Tausch would like nothing better than to hear from his hero. Tausch, the best advice I can give you is get out. Being clean is such a great experience. Don't run leagues. Don't be in leagues. But if you're going to be in a league, I agree. You found a good path. Less maintenance.
Thank you.
Still in it.
Yep.
You need to do a best ball league, though. It's similar, except you don't draft like the Packers. You draft a way deeper team, but you don't have to do any lineup or anything. That's your team for the entire year, and it just takes whoever performed the best out of all your choices. You get the best possible score each week from what you have. So it's time in the beginning, but then the rest of the year you just get to sit back and gamble.
So you just put on the roster and they just grab your best points? That actually takes away, because the most fun of this outside of the draft is, Austin Eckler's got a hammy. Do we play him or his guy? Christian Watson, do we do this?
I thought you were saying you didn't want any of that. It sounds like you wanted to
Except
be
for
the
when he does.
absentee fantasy football father.
I think if I was going to do that, I'd rather. There's no game to it then. Then it's just whatever.
Oh, there's all kinds of games. You draft guys that maybe you draft guys that are long shots, because if they don't do anything, it doesn't hurt you.
Okay.
Yes. It's just a different. It's a different strategy. Plus,
it is.
Plus, this is always the other for degenerate gambler, and I know you might have a little bit of that in your blood. The one way to make something interesting as a degenerate, I've always found, just do it for more money. It's amazing how much you will get back into paying attention. Just add a zero to the end.
Okay. Put a comma on it.
Take care.
All right,
Be
Ron.
good.
Well, I still think that this is, and I know Jason, I don't think he really enjoys fantasy football either. I get it.
But you don't really enjoy it, is my point.
I don't. No, but I enjoy the camaraderie. There's a part of it that I like in the fact that it's Max's team he gets to run with.
Yes.
No, I'm intrigued by how Packer fans look at their team. And the fact that Green Bay went top 5 every year until last year is intriguing to me. That's all.
Okay, so, and therein lies what makes this interesting, because there is
brought it up.
Okay, I'm glad you did. I'm glad we got to why. Because to me, what does that tell you? And are there other Packers fans who aren't in your league who would have taken him 5th anyway? Because the tsunami of positivity that I have experienced, at least before yesterday, when we found that Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs weren't practicing, has been overwhelming. And so I wonder if those folks were in your league, if they would put their draft choice where their hearts are and where their confidence is, and say, no, these guys are going to... we did the Bold-a-thon yesterday, and we reached a point where picking the Packers to win 10 games was not bold. Gabe, standing up for his 6 or 7 win prediction, qualified as bold. That's where we're at. And so I am interested in where they went. The machinations of your trades and whatever, not as interested, but very interested in the fact that well, we're aware. So, of all the Packers fans that listen to this show, I would love to know if their confidence is way higher than the dudes and sons in your league. That's what I want to know. And now, what does it do to you? Because here's the thing that I want to talk about as it relates to these hamstring injuries to Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs, who we both like as players, not just dudes, but like we think they're both going to be good. You think Christian Watson's going to be on the cover of Madden. I think
he's got a skill set. He's got a great skill set.
And I think Romeo
Talent's
Doubs is the kind of receiver that, like Devontae Adams, is able to do everything as opposed to having the take the top off the defense skill and being less
Corey Bradford
effective in the other aspects of the game. And I think Christian Watson is far better than Corey Bradford, or will be far better than Corey Bradford or MVS. But when you do this youth movement like they have, and then you have some injuries, I think Jim Rutledge pointed it out yesterday, that Packers fans seem to think they're not going to have any injuries this year either. This is what happens. If your frontline players are young and inexperienced but are high picks, then guess who your backline players are? Young, inexperienced, and not nearly as talented that they didn't get drafted as high. I like Samori Toure if he's my 4th receiver. I don't like him if he has to start on Sunday. Dontavion Wicks just got back from his own hamstring injury. He may have to play. Malik Heath was an outstanding training camp story. Do you really want him? They've got DJ Moore, and you've got Malik Heath? But this is part of the rebuild that they don't want to call it, is that there's a reason why none of their guys that they cut were claimed. Because they are not a deep team. They are a young team full of potential. And what is that going to mean on Sunday? We're going to talk about that as we roll on. I noticed that there are a few people chiming in saying that they have joined the YouTube viewing experience. So Jeff and Monroe, you asked for it. Here it is. Thank you for your service.
He likes this. He likes the fantasy league concept. So do I, Jeff. I'm with you. I think a lot of us do. It's easy.
Jeff, if you'd like to be in Tausch's league, he can tell you more about what occurred
Jason,
in it.
I know we're going to talk a lot about these hammies. If you had drafted the Packers and Madison or Sydney was in this father-son-daughter league, who are you starting from a wide receiver standpoint as of Thursday today? Who are you starting for the Green Bay Packers at a wideout on your fantasy league?
I will answer that question. You like that clock management work there? I did such a good job yesterday that I just had to try again. I will answer that question after Tausch tells us about dreaming fearlessly, ensuring carefully, and all the support AmFam gives to our Badgers.
Badger fans, AmFam wants to give you and a friend a VIP experience at a Badger football or basketball game this coming season. You and a friend receive pregame sideline or courtside passes, a tour of the facility, and tons of great merch to support your Badgers. Enter today at amfam.com/Badgers. No purchase is necessary. Dream fearlessly. Insure carefully.
What are they going to do at wide receiver? We'll talk about the Packers' options. Hey, maybe today they'll go out to practice and Dobbs and Watson will be ready to go. I don't think that's necessarily likely, but it's possible. We'll also talk about hamstring injuries. Did Tausch ever have one? I want to know that.
I just had one. In Porto.
Yeah, and yet you're still pushing through doing the radio show because you're a gamer. More next. This Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're in the market for a full-size 8-passenger SUV, look no further than the Defender 130. And with the Defender 90, the 110, and this 130, there's luxury in the right size for everyone.
Plus, when you buy or lease from Fields, you'll automatically become a member of the Fields Amenities Program with complimentary loaners, car washes, our cafe and gourmet coffee bar, and much more. All at no charge at Land Rover Waukesha. LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate Back Tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
I'd been living with a snoring problem nearly my entire life. In fact, I can remember my mother teasing me, saying that I'd snore so loudly that the walls of our house would cave in with each breath.
Fast forward only recently, when Jessica's snoring forced her husband out of their bed and into another room. It's a pretty common situation. We call it a sleep divorce, and that's not good. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent. After Jessica had a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, we found that her snoring problem required a simple solution. In-office balloon sinuplasty. It's a 20-minute procedure, and it works. You won't find it offered by big box healthcare, but you will find it at Advent, where we offer every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution available. You can hear more of Jessica's story at adventknowsjessica.com and take your first step towards breathing well so you can live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Football, free beer, and live radio. The pro football season kicks off this Thursday night, and we are going to be out at Maddie's Barn Grill to celebrate. Join Homer and Tony from 2 to 4 and Scouts on Brus from 4 to 6 as they hang out at Maddie's on Thursday. Stop by for free beer from Eagle Park Brewery and Michelob Ultra between 2 and 4 and enter to win Bloody Marys for a year. Watch the game on the Big Backyard's 18-foot LED screen. Football season is here, and it starts at 2 o'clock this Thursday at Maddie's Barn Grill in New Berlin.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I have told you about the delicious pizza and Italian snacks that you can find at Proof Pizza inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel. But now there's even more to be excited about. The restaurant has added new sandwiches to the menu. Available every day from 11 to 4, you can enjoy items like the Red Rock Chicken BLT, the Meatball Hero, and more. Order from the counter at Proof or directly from the bar at St. Kate. Explore the new sandwiches and the rest of the menu at proofpizzamke.com.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and as a community bank, we sincerely appreciate our customer loyalty. Over nearly 90 years, we've done all we can to return the favor. Great Midwest Bank offers flexible solutions that bigger banks and credit unions simply can't, because our entire team is right here in the community. We love helping our neighbors when we're at work and then catching up over the weekend. Visit us at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people with different political views and life experiences are coming together through the power of conversation, and it feels good. Hear more at lovehasnolabels.com/one small step. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
All right, I hate to do this, but I need a clarification, and I think probably others who are intrigued by your league want it, so I'm doing it
I
as
needed
a
some
service.
fantasy advice, too, for the record.
So you want to talk more We never talk fantasy football, ever. And now you want to talk more after you castigate me?
Deservedly
for the first half hour
so.
of the
No
show?
doubt about it. Deservedly so. But I like the way you transitioned. I thought it was really good of asking me if the girls and I were in your league, who I would start at wide receiver. So just so I'm clear, I get 4 teams in your league, and then I pick who to play at the various positions based on the 4 rosters that I have at my disposal.
That is correct.
So if I had all NFC North teams, I could pick Amon-Ra St. Brown and Justin Jefferson as my wide receivers. I wouldn't have to take Malik Heath and Jaden Reed as my wide receivers.
This is true.
Okay, so if I don't get to choose from other teams, though, which your transition was outstanding and long overdue, I think I would take Jaden Reed and Samori Toure, I guess. But that's the problem here. Like, Malik Heath started in place of Romeo Doubs against Seattle. So is Malik Heath going to start? If they are they going to play 3 wide receivers if neither one of these guys can go?
Well, they don't have 2 tight ends. They're not going to do a lot of 2 tight end sets, I don't think.
Well, they've got 3 now. They got Ben Sims, who they claimed from Minnesota, so they now have 3 rookie tight ends, which is pretty impressive. Tausch, if you're on this team, let's be David Bakhtiari for us.
Okay.
And you're getting ready for this game. You're certainly focused on you're going to do your job, 69/65. What are you thinking when you're sitting there going, all right, we're going to go to Chicago. I know they're not that good either yet. But we could be starting Jaden Reed, Samori Toure, and Malik Heath as our 3 wide receivers. And 2 years ago, while I was coming back from my knee injury, we had that Devontae Adams dude on our team. And now we're going to do this in the opener. What are you thinking if you're one of the few veterans on this roster?
Man, I can't wait for Tuesday.
To celebrate that you won?
No, I think it's payday. I think David's approach on this, I was wondering why. You think my pauses after touchdowns are long?
I didn't know that was payday. Of all these years I've covered the league.
You didn't know Tuesdays are payday.
I didn't.
28 years covering the team. And you didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Okay. Way to dig in. All right, so I think when you
I don't get a check stub.
David's mentality on this is, I think, hey, we got a young football team. It's going to be fun. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be the same as it was. So I think he has come to grips with that. I think that's how the off season went.
Sure,
He's
I get
approached
that.
it that way. But there's no doubt, and this happens with veteran players, you don't care about 3 years from now. You don't care that some reporters and other people think, well, this will be a great start to the rebuild, and then in 24 you'll be a contender. You don't care because you're probably not going to be here.
Right.
So you want to do the best you can. You want to put your best film out to give yourself opportunities to keep playing if you want to, and you want to help this team win. But you realize when you see the injury report yesterday that, it's a guy we really want out there. That's another guy. And I guess my question, what happened with Watson? Because he was not hurt.
And now he is.
And then all of a sudden he just didn't practice.
Yeah.
So
Watson played against
Taking the
Seattle.
picture? Okay.
And sometime between the Seattle game and yesterday, he suffered a hamstring injury. Now, I don't know if he was sprinting against Simone Biles up in Door County or what was happening, because Christian Watson was not in the locker room. Now, the running backs finally came back in. Two of the biggest stand-up guys on the team who'd been gone for a week from being in the locker room when we were there were there yesterday. We'll get to what they said about the Jonathan Taylor talk. But, yeah, I don't know. And Matt LaFleur wouldn't tell us what happened to Watson. Like, again, we knew Dobbs had missed the Seattle game, and we knew that when we talked to Dobbs last week before they had their time off, and we asked how his hamstring was, his response was, "You'll have to talk to Coach." Well, wait, it's your hamstring. You'll have to talk to Coach. So I did not take that as particularly encouraging.
No, if it was encouraging, you'd say, man, we're progressing, things are getting better and better, and
Correct.
Hopefully we'll try to get out. Yeah.
Correct.
That ain't good.
No.
Who's more likely to play, Watson or Dobbs?
I have no idea. I mean, literally no idea. Because, and let's see, they're going to practice today at 11:45. We'll see if somehow one of them is out there. But it's hard for me to answer that question, Tausch, when I don't know what the hell happened to Watson. Like, again, they didn't do anything. Like, did he come back on Monday and tweak it while he was working out in their new facility that they've got? Or did he, again, if you don't answer the question, which Matt LaFleur did not, did he get hurt while he was on vacation? Was he trying to catch a plane and he was running through O'Hare and felt a twinge? I don't know. But my question I wanted...
You think he maybe had a hot tub incident like I did? Missed a step?
In Porto, or could he have done that somewhere in the continental U.S.?
Could have done it at the Midway Motor Lodge up there in Green Bay.
Right, with his Tuesday paycheck. So you obviously dealt with your share of injuries, no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. But we did go through a phase where Mike McCarthy and the medical staff and the training staff were getting roundly criticized because there were too many soft tissue injuries. Now, if you are, we can't use a Lamborghini because that is reserved for Cliffy and sort of for David Bakhtiari. Maserati, Ferrari, whatever you want to call your wide receivers, are those finely tuned and you can experience some minor engine trouble like a hamstring twinge because they run so fast and there's no fault of their own? Or when you see both of these guys who are young players who are still at a point where and tell me if I'm wrong about this, you are still working on figuring out your regimen to make sure you are preparing the way you need to stay healthy, and you're doing whether it's hydration or all the other parts of being a pro. Like, are you a little worried that these guys had some injury issues last year, and now we're starting the season where we're starting it with them this year?
Yes. Yeah, I would say very concerned. And it's not just they missed last year. There has never been a better time, and it's only going to continue to get better with how they are preventatively trying to get rid of the pulls and the soft tissue injuries, because a lot of times that does come from dehydration or muscles tired. All of that stuff is monitored now. Right. That's why they're wearing those catapult, some people call them sports bras, the catapult, like little tank top deals. That's all monitoring all that stuff. They're monitoring their urine, everything. And if your numbers aren't where they need to be, they sit you out, or they slow you down and take reps away so it's never been better. Yoga and massages and salt tubs. And you cannot imagine all of the things that
McCarthy's
every
Foot Bath
player has
Fridays.
available.
Right.
So you can look at this and say, this stuff happens. And there's always going to be, but when you have a run of 2 or 3 guys at one position, wide receivers and DBs are going to be more likely to pull their hamstrings.
That's what I was asking.
Because, as Luke Fickell told me a few weeks ago, you can't pull fat. Well, you can, but it's much less likely to do when you're a finely tuned athlete and you're quick twitch and you're explosive. All of that, it makes it, there's more movement and stuff happens quicker. So that's the part that I think you're always concerned about. And the problem is, it's just like if you sprain an ankle in the middle of mini camp or training camp, you can rest it and get back. But you know what? It's never back until you just take time and rest it. And you can't do that in this league. Same thing with this. Now, they're going to be smart. And what you don't want to do is, man, it's the Bears week, and we really need to get off to a fast start. Christian, can you give us 10 reps? Because the last thing you want to do is re-aggravate these things. You have to let them heal. And guys will feel better. You know, especially you pull a hammy, you'll feel better 2 days after, 3 days after. And you'll start, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden you go at it again and bam! And you're out another 4 weeks and you reset the cycle. So I think teams have gotten so much smarter and better about managing these things. But from a, am I concerned? Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Text from Daniel on the talk and text line 844-770-3776. I'm going to get pissed off again. I think you media guys are overblowing 2 hamstring injuries.
He's talking to you and Demoski because I'm not.
They have to. Yeah, that's what I've heard. They have to put it on the injury report. It's probably so minor. Could be that they're just sore. My hamstrings are sore. Should I go to work? Just stop over-exaggerating things. Hey, Daniel, they had the frickin' weekend off, bro. They came back from a long weekend, and suddenly Christian Watson can't practice. It is the opening week of the damn season.
Get him.
When your 2 wide receivers, who are the most experienced receivers you have, one of whom played 48% of the snaps as a rookie last year, the other 46%, and both had injury issues, and they're not available for Wednesday's practice, this is not over-exaggerating. I hope they're both out there today. But Matt LaFleur was clearly concerned. My job is to convey to you what they say and what I interpret and have the insight for. I'm sorry that you don't want to hear that they have hamstring injuries. Again, I hope I go to Lambeau after the show is over and those guys are out there. Based on the way Matt LaFleur behaved yesterday and the way he talked about what they're going to do at wide receiver and how these guys aren't experienced enough, like the Devontae Adamses and the Alan Lazards and the Randall Cobbs, to not practice all week and then be able to play effectively on Sunday, he's concerned. My job is the same whether they play or not. I'm not taking enjoyment in them being injured. And I'm not trying to pee in your Cheerios. I'm telling you what's going on right now. That's it. I hope it's minor. But don't you think it's a little odd that the number 1 and number 2 receivers aren't ready to practice on Wednesday of opening week?
Mm-hmm.
They're not experienced enough to say, well, let's just take it easy on them. They're not on the Bakhtiari plan, man. They're not. They need the work in practice. Well, they're just a little sore. They're definitely not just a little sore. Again, I hope they're healthy enough to play. Because, hey, Jordan, congratulations on being the new starting quarterback. We're really excited for the start of the era. Let's make it a little bit harder and take away the 2 guys that actually have NFL experience in your wide receiver group. Good luck. They're not resting. I hope they're out there today, though, for Daniel's sake. I do not want to be right about this. I want them to play. But we're not doing this for clicks. Although I have a feeling this is going to become a sound graph, and maybe that'll lead to some clicks. All right. We're supposed to play trivia. There was a call that I wanted to get to, and then Jesse pissed me off by posting that text.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, you didn't have to post that. You knew I was going to get angry.
What? No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It was a
yes.
Maybe.
All right. We have to do trivia twice today because we didn't do it yesterday for the Bold-a-thon. So, Jesse, I'm going to defer to you because I do want to get to the call that we have on hold. How do you want to handle this now that I'm yelling at people?
Okay, here's what we can do. It'll be fun. Later in the show.
It's been fun so far. You're going to put trivia at the end of the show.
No. I already got you one, so we won't do it again.
A double segment of trivia.
We will do
that off?
simultaneous trivia.
Yes.
So we'll have one contestant answer question one, other contestant answer question one, and back and forth. And it'll go from one category to the other.
Idea.
It'll be great. We'll do it later. It'll be fun.
I don't know if I could be more excited about that.
First time ever.
That is a great idea.
It'll be a disaster. It'll be awesome.
It will be a disaster, but we'll do it anyway. All right, so Jeff in Minneapolis, hold on. We'll get to your call coming up next. Is it hot in here? It's hot in here.
So hot,
I feel like I need to take off my swim shirt. I got a little fired up there.
I love the fact that bothered you so much. I don't understand why. I don't understand that take. And first off, you got a hammy and you're at an office chair. You can sit. I fought through a couple weeks with a bad hammy. I did.
Thank you for your service. I've never wanted to talk about Tausch's fantasy team more than I did during that. Want to remind you of our great partnership.
Real happy about the Washington Commanders. Got the Commanders. Terry McLaurin.
Sam Howell.
Love Terry McLaurin.
19 career passes.
If I'm starting Sam Howell, our season's gone haywire.
Right, but he's the guy throwing to Terry McLaurin. Doesn't that factor in there?
Got to play the matchup, Tausch. Got to play the matchup.
It's true. It's all matchups.
All right. We'll get to Jeff's call. Want to remind you of our great partnership with David Gruber and Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. They've been so good to us. It's great to have them as part of our show. And I'm lucky, knock on wood. I haven't needed their expertise in helping people who have been seriously injured in accidents. I hope I never need them. But I know that they're there if I do need them. And they're just one call away. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. And one call, that's all, is more than just a slogan. It's really how it works. All you got to do is make that one call. And they'll take care of everything from there so you can focus on healing. Plus, no fee, absolutely no cost to call, consult, or retain Gruber Law Offices. There is never a fee unless we win your case. So again, go to gruber-law.com to learn more about their firm and about everything they do in the community, or just give them a call. Again, one call, that's all, 414-276-6666. We'll get to Jeff's call in Minneapolis and more thoughts next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. 94.5 ESPN is your home for Catholic Memorial Football. On Friday night, the Crusaders visit the Pewaukee Pirates.
Touchdown, Marvadius Butler.
Cade Neitzel and Mike Podol get things started Friday at 6:30. Catholic Memorial Football on 94.5 ESPN is brought to you by R&R Insurance, Gerald Nell Inc., Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Wind Dancer Balloon Promotions, Suburban Asphalt, Perspire Sauna Studio, Home Sealed Exteriors, BC Adhesives, and Lake 5 Landscape Supply. UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Dylan Ports, a junior at Kettle Moraine High School. Dylan's season-opening 3-touchdown game hopefully setting the tone for this entire season, and he continued to produce over the weekend in defending state champion Kettle Moraine's 27-13 win over Arrowhead in a game played at Arrowhead. Ports was a dual threat on offense in the win, rushing for 61 yards and a touchdown, as well as catching 3 passes for 32 yards. The 2022 second-team All-Conference back, Ports helping the KM Lasers continue their undefeated season and start off Classic A Conference play on a high note. Kettle Moraine continues conference play this week against Economwalk. Congratulations to Dylan Ports, this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
It's a city from a fairy tale on the Mediterranean Sea.
Netanya, the city of diamonds. And in this city of diamonds lived a crazy genius named Moses Hadara.
Moses was a mathematician,
a diamond cutter, and a bit of a theoretical physicist.
Albert Einstein devised a formula, E = mc².
Albert's formula unleashed the power locked inside an atom.
Moses' formula unleashed the power locked inside a diamond.
Moses began with star facets,
Kite facets,
Upper girdle facets,
lower girdle facets,
and pavilion facets.
But then a voice told him to add 24 new facets. The Moses facets.
When he cut the final one,
Shazam!
Moses unleashed an explosion of light.
that dazzling diamond is known today as the Kessler 81.
See it for yourself.
See it for yourself.
See it for yourself.
At Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
That's right, move on over, summer. Football season is here. It's Boucher Automotive Football Kickoff Week right here on 94.5 ESPN. We're talking big-name guests, big-time analysis, and all the football talk you could want. You already know where to go for your football fix, and you can head to Boucher Automotive for your next ride. With 16 different new car brands and over 35 pre-owned brands to choose from. Boucher Automotive, we are driven by you. Keep it parked right here during Boucher Automotive Football Kickoff Week on 94.5 ESPN.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
She lives, she goes, and she lives for me. Says she lives for motivation. Who motivation? She comes round and she goes down to me.
Sorry for losing my temper.
What's up, Big Angry? You like that? You a little fired up this morning?
No, there's no upside to exaggerating injuries. I'm not. What am I accomplishing with that? There's no motive. What's the motive for that?
I'm not a detective, so I don't know.
If you were a detective, who would you be?
Never.
Lenny Briscoe?
Never stopped you before from investigating things.
Inspector Gadget?
That's true. That's a good point, Jesse.
Columbo?
No. I don't know. Who's like a real heavy-set detective? Is there one? You almost have
Jake
to be a
and the Fat
sleeker.
Man. That was a show on
you
CBS.
Have to be a little sleeker. I don't remember that show. Hey, Kelly Call, what time is that show on?
8:30 on Tuesdays.
As a detective, you got to kind of be stealth. You got to be hiding behind bushes and small trees, and taking photos from balconies. I don't think that's a good career path for me.
All right, I'm gonna do some research in the next break about Jake and the Fat Man. Let's go to Jeff in Minneapolis. Jeff, I don't know why you called. I appreciate your call. I promise I will not yell at you. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. So I have a couple of things, a couple of observations, and I have a question for both of you regarding Matt LaFleur. So these are my observations. I don't know who these people are that are saying that you guys are being critical or downers about the upcoming season. I actually think you guys have both been very measured and very realistic. I personally think that their downside is 7-10, and their upside is 10-7, and that's kind of where we're at. I mean, that's how I feel. And Jason, the people that have you feel like you've gotten some criticism that is not warranted. If anything, if they've been listening to you throughout the summer you had an initial perception of Jordan Love, and it has done nothing but gotten more positive. So I don't know.
Thank you.
Well, it's the truth, okay. And I also want to say that in the press conferences throughout the year, I'm a big fan of the media, so I follow you and Silverstein, and you can tell who's asking the questions. You often ask questions in these post-game meetings that are very incisive and thoughtful. Because there's two things. There's the question, what you're trying to get at, and how you ask it, right? Those are the two parts. And, and you can tell that when you ask questions, you're trying to get the most bang for your buck and really kind of get at something, and I think it's really good. Now, don't get mad at me. I'm just saying I've got a theory. All right? And I think one of the reasons
have I developed that reputation now after that rant? No, don't get mad. Now, you say everybody's scared of me.
So afraid of you.
That's the first time I've had anyone actually be.
It's a phenomenon. It's an amazing phenomenon.
Jeff, I'm sorry. Please, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Listen, I'm like Tausch. I like it when you let it out. I like it. It's fine.
I don't. Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, I do think that for a variety of reasons over the years, and I'm just going to say this, I think many people will view some of your comments through the lens of being a Rodgers apologist.
Sure.
And because of that, right. So because of that, they may feel that some of your negative comments are you don't want this new non-Rodgers regime to do well, which I don't think is the truth. I think like I said, you and Tausch have been very measured. I mean, there's no way you can go into the season and say everything's roses. Nobody knows. There's just so many things of uncertainty. And even last week, you said something about the Arizona playoff game that was a little bit like a Rodgers apologist. But that shouldn't taint your overall body of work, which I think is great. So I just want you to know that. I think that's some of why you're getting what I think is unfair grief, because I think, like I said, you've been very, very measured, both of you, and I think guys have been realistic. I mean, I'm as excited as anybody about this year because it's kind of like watching a new team. That's why I'm excited about it.
No doubt.
Oh, it's a new squad.
Except for running it back on defense with Joe Barry and basically the same people. But you're right. Thanks for the call, Jeff. I would just say
he has a question. Hold up. He's got a question, too.
Oh, I thought that was the... Oh, okay, sorry.
After all that great stuff he says about you trying to run him?
I was looking at the clock.
When do you ever look at the clock?
All the time. You never look at the clock. All right, Jeff, I'm sorry. What was your question?
Okay, so this is my question. Do you think, you guys, I want both your opinion, do you think LaFleur as a leader is loyal/soft to a fault? And this gets into the Barry thing, Mo Drayton, some of the players, because that's my biggest concern from when I watch him as a leader, that I think he's loyal/soft to a fault. And I would like your guys' perception on that question. I would love both of your thoughts.
As someone who is loyal and soft myself, yes, I do. I don't think he likes to fire people. I don't think he likes to demote people. I don't think if we're being honest, and I am a huge Adam Stenavich the person fan, Adam Stenavich was not his first choice for the offensive coordinator job. Right? He was hoping Luke Getsy would then just assume that role, and then Luke Getsy got the opportunity with the Bears to be their coordinator and call the plays for a defensive-minded head coach. So that left him with Steno. Now, I think Steno has been better than you and a better idea guy, if you talk to some of the players, than you might expect from an offensive lineman. No offense, Tausch.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, like he's creative with his ideas. He's not just an expert in how to run block and how to be effective in your blocking schemes. He's got really good offensive conceptual ideas, so they like that about him. But if their offense struggles again this year, what is the accountability for their offensive coordinator? That's one of the examples that I would use. I do think he's very loyal. And is that a bad thing? I would much rather have someone who's too loyal than not loyal enough. We will kick off the 10 o'clock hour, although it feels like we're kicking off the 11 o'clock hour the way the first hour went, in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Freddie Coleman and Harry Douglas.
Share with the class. I want to hear this.
No, I'm saying like it puts pressure on them. Like, okay, dang, they got their guy.
Okay.
We don't have their guy. But see, the difference is?
What's the difference?
One team has Patrick Mahomes, the other team doesn't.
Yeah, they have Brock Purdy. So to me, that's why I don't think it puts any more pressure on Kansas City.
Well, just a tiny bit. No, I'm not saying
on a percentage scale between with 100 being the highest, 0 being the lowest.
10%.
It's 10%.
10%. That's little.
It's little. To me, it's 0%. You know why? Because if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, you know that Chris Jones has dug his trench and you've dug your trench. He's already put it out there that, hey, I'll sit out the first 8 games to get what I want. Kansas City, to me, has already made a plan to say he's not going to be the first 8 games.
Well, he has to come game 8. He has to be there.
Right. He has to be there by game 8.
Game 9.
So, if he was the first 8, he'll be there by game 9.
Yep.
Or then he gets no money this year. If anything, that pressure's more on Chris Jones.
NFL opening night is coming, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is hooking new customers up with a can't-miss offer. Place your first $5 NFL bet and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day this September. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code OUTCOME to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. That's code OUTCOME, only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
I've been grinding so long, been trying it for years. And I got nothing to show, just climbing this rope right here. And if there's a man upstairs, he kept bringing me rain. But I've been sending up prayers and something's changed. I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Now all my dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. It's good to be alive.
10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. Tausch, in your constant concern about the clock, you didn't answer Jeff's question. Do you think Matt LaFleur is loyal / nice / soft to a fault?
I'm not going to say soft because I just think that is
negative connotation.
Them's fighting words.
Yeah.
No, them's fighting words in the NFL business, and I think his teams play hard, so I'm not going to go down that road. But as far as loyalty goes, loyalty needs to be a two-way street. Your guys need to be doing the vision that you hired them for. And the fact, the Joe Barry stuff from last year and how that played out, and the fact that he was a second, third, maybe fourth choice, I don't know, to be the defensive coordinator, and then to just rubber stamp moving forward, I thought was a really bad look for Matt LaFleur.
Mm-hmm. You were said immediately.
Yeah, I just didn't like it. And I think I speak for some Packer fans, maybe not all, but most, that if you want to bring him back, okay. But to just do it 20 hours after one of the most disappointing losses, make a really good argument that's the most disappointing regular season loss at Lambeau Field we've had in 50 years. And I don't think that's an understatement. Now, playoff games except, but for regular season. So to just do that, I think it was a little tone deaf in as far as what the public perception is. And I know you don't make decisions based on that, but a lot of times you do have to kind of factor in and say, is this the direction we want to go? So I do think he's probably been too loyal for a little too long. But we'll see as far as if this season goes the way he wants it to go. You can say, I trusted and knew that this was what was going to happen, and so you made the right call. I just didn't like the timing and how it played out. I did not like that, and that is why I would say I will not call him soft under any circumstances. But I will say, I think from a loyalty standpoint, you can be too loyal sometimes, and that's why it's unfortunate that this business is the way it is, but there is a cold-bloodedness that evaluators and coaches need to have in order to continue to keep the train moving forward.
I would be curious if he had a Coors Light on the table with you. You guys are just sitting back at his lake house that he just got recently. You think he'd admit that he's nervous about this season?
Yes.
I think so, too.
Yes.
He obviously can't do that at the podium.
Yeah, I think everybody is saying the right things. I think everybody up there knows that it's going to be a real bumpy ride. Keep your seatbelts on.
To 10 wins.
Now, that does not mean that you're not going to be a playoff team. I think from an adversity standpoint and from an unknown standpoint, most of these guys haven't had to go through this. This is, Jeff just said it, this is a whole new football team. Offensively, you talk about graduating a couple of seniors, you're only playing freshmen and redshirt freshmen. And some of these guys, 4 games, I think you can keep a year of eligibility. It's kind of where you're at with this group.
Right.
The skill guys. And that's great. Again, but you understand, I think what Jimmy Rutledge said yesterday, well, you're just going to assume all this stuff's going to go great. That's just not how the NFL works. First off, these guys can grow, and growth is stunted in the NFL because teams scheme you up and will pick at every weakness you have. What we see Jordan Love do on Sunday, if he's great, that's going to be fantastic. But defensive coordinators will start doing different things, and then do you have the counter move to that? And that's what going through, that's why people always say you get that big jump from year 1 to year 2, because you also see what people are doing to you.
Right.
And you get to work on that. Jordan's not going to have any of that. So he's kind of flying blind too. And so are these defenses at this point, but they're going to see what he does well, what he doesn't. They're going to pick at that. They're going to pick at the protection schemes. They're going to pick at all this stuff. And he's going to have to counterbalance that. And that's asking a lot from a young player. So, there have been rookie players or first-year players that have been great. But I just think as Jordan goes through some of this stuff, and I know, unfortunately, it's not going to be as pretty as everybody's saying right now. It's not going to be, oh, shucks, well, that's great, but he's growing. It's not. Jason said that. It's not. I can assure you. I can already hear on Green Bay game day post-game that it's not, if things go bad, it's not going to be, it's his first real start as QB1. So give him a break. That's not how this works. It's not how the NFL is, an overreactionary, week-to-week drama. And you're going to have to live with it and deal with that. And Jordan knows that. I think everybody understands. And I think everybody up there. And I just want to continue to remind Packer fans, as this season goes, and as you're getting down, and if there's a couple of weeks that stink, just think back and say, and I'm not going to compare him to anybody, but you go ahead and look at all of the NFL quarterbacks that played their first year, and go ahead and look at their stats. Aaron Rodgers' stats were probably one of the best that we've seen from a rookie quarterback. Peyton Manning threw 28 picks. Eli Manning stunk when he got thrown in there. He was not very good. You're talking about Hall of Fame quarterbacks that in their first year wasn't very good. So when this happens, and it will, I'm going to pray. I'm not going to pray for this because I'm going to say I hope that everybody understands and is rational. And I know that's not going to be the case. And to be honest, I love it because it's our job. And I love the reaction. I have no problem. But I am going to I don't know how many times I will reference Peyton Manning threw 28 picks, but I guarantee you every Green Bay game day post game that we end up doing, and the Packers stink or they get beat and Jordan doesn't play great, I will reference that because it is great to remind everybody of where this team's at, not where everybody hopes it will be, but where they're at as we sit here right now.
Peyton Manning in 1998, his team went 3-13. He threw 26 touchdowns against 28 interceptions. His passer rating was 71.2. Now, he was playing as a rookie.
Different era.
And in a different era. Jordan Love is in his 4th NFL season and in a different era. But I did ask Jordan yesterday what might have happened had he had to play right away. We will hear that exchange. Yeah, I didn't pop out of the laundry hamper, though. Again,
it's never going to happen, is it?
I think I've got the PR staff on board. Like I
understand, but at some point you have to pull the trigger and go do it.
What I'm saying is, in order for it to happen,
talking about it for 7, 8 weeks,
right? But first of all, it has to be I think things need to be going well. So if they've won 3 in a row,
that's why
I think that's a good time to do it.
Maybe a good idea to do this. You know, it's a better time to do stuff when you're having fun with players. Preseason. Preseason, mini camps, OTAs.
I need them to get me in the locker room early. That'll be part of it, too, and they haven't been able to do that yet.
The Packers lost to the Falcons 38-13. Jordan threw 4 picks, and Jason Wilde does the pop-up game that week. Yeah, good idea, Wilde.
I'm not going to do it that week. But maybe they win, and then I can do it in week 3 after all. We will talk more about what Jordan Love said about the idea of playing right away versus what he's actually doing here and what that might allow him to do. Coming up next, I want to remind you that the seasons are changing and Fleet Farm is here to help make sure you and your yard are ready for the seasons to change. You can get deals on grass seed, fertilizer, mulch, cleaning supplies, and so much more. Save now during the fall yard prep sale going on right now at Fleet Farm. Find everything you need for your everyday life at Fleet Farm. Paula and I do that all the time. She was just there this morning. And if you're looking for a change of pace in your career, Fleet Farm is hiring. You'll enjoy a 20% off team member discount for you and your family. Plus, you'll start getting paid right at the time of being hired. Apply now at fleetfarm.com/careers. They're not just hiring at that new Muskego store that Jesse might be working at. No, they're hiring everywhere. So be sure to go to fleetfarm.com/careers to find out more. We'll hear from Jordan Love next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. That's right, move on over, summer. Football season is here. It's Boucher Automotive Football Kickoff Week right here on 94.5 ESPN. We're talking big-name guests, big-time analysis, and all the football talk you could want. You already know where to go for your football fix, and you can head to Boucher Automotive for your next ride. With 16 different new car brands and over 35 pre-owned brands to choose from. Boucher Automotive, we are driven by you. Keep it parked right here during Boucher Automotive Football Kickoff Week on 94.5 ESPN.
It's Chevy truck season, and with a Chevy Silverado, there's no such thing as an uphill battle. With a Chevy Silverado, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them. Because with impressive towing capability, an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen, and the choice of powerful engines to pick from, whatever your mountain, there's a Silverado with the capability you need. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
It's WTMJ's Brandon Stein for Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson is hosting the 2nd annual Medal of Honor ride this Saturday. Join NAM Knight's Brew City chapter for a ride from the War Memorial Center in Milwaukee to Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc. Enjoy music, food, and vendors supporting our veterans' needs. Registration begins at 9 a.m. and the ride leaves at 11 a.m. Check out their website or like and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and online at WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
What should we do with the broke propeller? What should we do with the broke propeller? Don't look at me, I wasn't driving. Thank you, you're not helping. I don't even know why you bought this boat. You told me that you loved this boat. That was before you wrecked the boat. Well, now you've made it awkward.
Accidents don't just happen in sea shanties, so Progressive Boat Insurance has you covered. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you can save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms and not available for all boats or in all situations.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For over 90 years, UW Credit Union has helped Wisconsinites achieve their financial goals at every stage of life, offering great rates for greater possibilities. Join today at uwcu.org. The Wisconsin football team has opened the season 1-0 after Saturday's win over Buffalo and prepare for Week 2 at Washington State, a team that beat the Badgers at Camp Randall Stadium last year. Senior running back Ches Malusi says this year to expect a battle between two good football teams.
And I would just say they're all around sound football team. And once you start breaking a little bit more film down, they're going to see that, on come Saturday, it's going to be a good game.
That's Malusi following his best collegiate game with 157 yards and 2 touchdowns against Buffalo. Find the full interview on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
I did not do the Jack in the Box out of the laundry hamper, but I did ask Jordan Love a question, perhaps for a Sunday story in the State Journal. Also reached out to the former quarterback about explaining to me what he thinks would have happened in 2005 if he would have started right away.
Good story idea.
Yeah, thanks. I may have to go into the archives for some of his answers to that question. If he doesn't give me a call, but I hope he does. Because, Tausch, I think I know he believes, that he'd have been fine. He'd have had the same career. He'd still be a Hall of Famer. He still would have become the player that he became, even if he'd have gone to San Francisco #1 overall. And that's how you're supposed to think. Mm-hmm. And you're supposed to have that belief in yourself. But Alex Smith had 5 coordinators in 6 years. Sometimes your circumstances, as you have talked about many times, do factor in to your success or failure, even if you're a really, really good player. And him playing
Jason,
right away, it would have been interesting.
I've said this numerous times, and I would guess 85 to 90% of NFL players, it comes down to timing, coaching staff, and fit. There's generational talents. Obviously, Aaron is one of those guys that would make it work. Would he have been Hall of Fame awesome and a Super Bowl winning quarterback and be in the playoffs every year? I don't know, Jim. I would guess that he would. But San Francisco, would they have had all the coordinator shakeups and everything else? Probably still. I think that's something that you can't really account for. But going to a solid franchise and being able to learn, I think even he would admit 05 would not have went as well as 08 did.
Right.
I think he would admit that.
I hope so.
We weren't very good. We were going through a big shift up front that year with Wally and Marco leaving. So
Will Whitaker.
It's just those things matter as far as your success moving forward. And for Jordan to be able to, the more you hear, and I've said this a couple times, the more you hear from Jordan and see what he's all about, I think the more I like him. Because ego gets in the way of a lot of guys, and every quarterback, every NFL player has an ego, and every quarterback's got an outsized ego, typically. And most quarterbacks would say the same thing that Aaron would say, which is, yeah, I'd be great wherever I'm going to play. But I think for Jordan to acknowledge in 2020 that he would not have been the guy and he would not be in the position that he's in because he knows the evolution he's already went through to get to this point. Good on him. Good on Jordan for being able to acknowledge that and not just say he's the next Pat Mahomes in 2020 because I don't think he thought that at that point.
Well, here is the question, and more importantly, the answer at the laundry hamper inside the Packers locker room yesterday.
When you think back to 2020, I know you're confident, and I know waiting sucked. But what do you think it would have been like had you played immediately as a first-round pick rookie? And in what ways are you so much better prepared for this moment that's in front of you now than you would have been?
Yeah, I think from here to now, there's a lot of things I've learned. Obviously, just being behind Aaron, seeing him work for 3 years, and then just growing in the offense. I think, first year, my rookie year, we had the COVID year too, so we didn't get OTAs. So there was a lot of learning on the fly. And when I first got here, it was just a lot of thinking. My mind was spinning a lot. And so it would have been a lot to go out there and start week one, but it would have been a lot of lessons I probably would have learned a lot faster being thrown in the fire. So but I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to sit and learn because I learned a lot over those 3 years.
Do you think there was, I hate to do that, what was the moment type question, but was there a moment like last year when you thought, hey, whether it was before the season, if Aaron hadn't come back, or during the season, if something had happened with the thumb, like, was there a moment where you thought, all right, I really am ready? Like, maybe I wasn't ready in 2020. If Matt comes to me today, I could definitely do this. Do you remember feeling that way?
Yeah, no, I think coming back last year for OTAs, just right when we started back, that was my mindset all year was I'm ready. Not knowing what was going to happen. Obviously, Aaron re-signed coming into that year, so not knowing what was going to happen with me, there's a lot of question marks, but I knew that, my time was going to be in preseason. I was going to have my time to showcase what I was about, so I think it really amped up then, and my confidence kind of picked up, knowing what I could do and feeling comfortable in the offense.
All right, two things there in the second answer. One, there's a lot of things happening with me. Wonder what that means. Wonder if they, after he signed his extension, if, I don't know, maybe his agent said, hey, since you just paid Rodgers $150 million and committed to him for 3 years, I think we'd like for you to explore a trade opportunity. And the Packers said, no, we're not going to do that. I'd be curious to know if that occurred and if anybody will ever acknowledge that. I am not going to say that that's what happened because, or even, I guess I've already hinted that that could have happened. I don't want that to blow up like last year. But that answer was interesting to me. The second part is, I don't know. I don't know. But if I see Jordan today, I may ask him. Secondly, him saying that he felt like last offseason, going into last season, he was ready. This goes back to the, hey, you could have gone 8-9 with Jordan Love thing. And why did they sign Rodgers to that extension when Goody really didn't want to, which we're both convinced of? And if Jordan Love felt like he was ready, I think he's more ready now. But if he was ready enough last year and he had a crystal ball, no wonder Goody was so mad. Because he's probably kicking himself going, God, I should have traded him. Jordan could have gone through all those growing pains with some more veteran guys
got that
last year.
Denver haul. Yeah, got
Yes.
that Denver haul instead of this little baby haul that we got from the New York Jets.
Didn't you think he's not the most fascinating guy in his answers? I think he's a really smart guy. I think he's a little boring in his answers. I think that's on purpose. But I thought he left some breadcrumbs there that left me very interested. Didn't he?
You are the Hansel and Gretel of Wisconsin or Green Bay Packer beat folks. So you are that. There's always, I think players always think they're ready to play before they are because that's how you're wired. And if you're not, I don't want you on the team. And that's when all that hubbub blew up last year when you reported that Jordan Love wanted to trade.
Yeah. Yeah. Love that story.
You know, I'm joking.
I know you are.
But when that whole thing played out, it was, well, hell yeah, I want my quarter. I don't want Jordan Love content sitting here holding a clipboard. He's 3 years. Yeah, if he's going to be a fourth year, do you want a guy that's content doing that? No. Goody doesn't. Mark Murphy doesn't. None of those guys would want that. So when you said that, it made abundant clear. And it obviously, just listening to Jordan, sounds like that might have been a year ago before that those conversations may have been happening. And by the way, the Green Bay Packers would have gotten nothing back in return.
Correct.
For Jordan. And it would have made no sense for them to do it. So I think everybody involved handled it the way they should have. And now you're hoping to reap the rewards of that patience on both sides. That's what you hope for.
We will get to what Matt LaFleur had to say about his young skill position players that his quarterback will now be dealing with and potentially even less experienced if Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs are more than just sore in their hamstrings. Again, for Daniel and everyone else, I hope they're out of practice today because I think it's a more compelling game if those guys are able to practice.
Practicing. You hope they're not out of
I hope
practice.
they're participating at practice, correct.
You're a wordsmith.
You are. No, I appreciate the clarification. Yeah. I will be mildly surprised if they're both practicing, even on a limited basis. That is not the vibe I got from the head coach, but maybe he's just a really good poker player. What I know is this: the head coach, unlike us, not eligible for those Fortria studies. He's a fit feller.
Yeah.
Not us.
Yeah. Handsome fella, too. You can be handsome, and you can still partake in the Fortria clinical trial. And if you're looking for a little extra cash, you want to, I don't know, everybody's looking for a little extra cash with inflation. You got all these other things happening. You want to get, I think people want to get out to Vegas. I think people are excited to go watch Devontae Adams as long as he's still there. Get out there. And if you're looking for that extra cash to do it, Fortria has you covered. I have a couple of different studies. Healthy adults ages 18 to 60 with a BMI of 18 to 32. That study involves 2 stays of 15 nights. You can grab yourself a quick $13,820 for your time and participation. I also have another one, 18 to 55, with a BMI of 18.5 to 32. That study involves a stay of only 14 nights with 2 follow-up visits, and you can grab yourself a quick $6,600 for your time. Go to FortriaClinicalTrials.com. That is Fortria, Fortrea, clinicaltrials.com.
I do not watch Survivor. Kelly Call, the former president of CBS, is not here to help me with this. So Jesse
Wednesday
instead.
nights it's on. That's the one show that we tape. We never watch it live, but that's a show
TiVo
that we're on.
or
I don't know.
VCR?
I don't know what it is. I'm assuming. What does that usually start up in like October? Because they shorten the seasons.
They've
down
been
'cause
promoting
everybody's attention
90-minute
spans or something.
episodes this year. I think writer's strike.
I like that.
Leads a lot.
I
to
like that. Yeah.
Well, I don't know anything about it. I know that there's like a tiki torch that they extinguish and stuff like that, and there's idols, but I'm not a fan of the show. I have nothing against the show, but we're going to do our version of the show.
I think Probst might be replacing Pat Sajak's job as having the greatest job. I might. What are you shaking your head for?
I thought you were
Jesse?
saying he was going to
I was
replace
giving away some
Sajak,
big...
and I thought Seacrest got there like 8 months ago. Yeah, okay.
I'm saying I think that job is right there in the same stratosphere as Pat Sajak's.
Wait, Ryan Seacrest is replacing Pat Sajak? We landed on the moon? We will get to our version
I'm
of
shocked
Survivor.
Anderson Cooper. How did Anderson Cooper not get that job?
It's true. He's got a lot going on.
He's so good that he needs
no
more
doubt
work.
about it. Jeff Probst, played by Jesse Nelson. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
A bank that goes the extra yard? You got it. Show your love for the green and gold with Packers checking only from Associated Bank. Make every transaction a touchdown with your Packers debit MasterCard. And when you use it at the Packers Pro Shop, at the stadium, or online, you'll get 10% off. Associated Bank's Packers checking scores the home field advantage by delivering Midwest-based customer care, outstanding value, and more. Get in the game and learn more today at AssociatedBank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level. They came in ahead of time, make sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window. They're great professionals, Gina, and some of the best in the world at what they do.
Right now, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde. Our family loves when Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles arrives at our home. And now football season has arrived. So try the green and gold Kringle. Traditional pecan Kringle and cheesecake Kringle topped with green and gold sprinkles. A crowd pleaser at any game day party. Order today at Kringle.com or 1-800-4DANISH. Easy to remember. Kringle.com or 1-800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles. Not just a treat, it's a tradition. And the official pastry of ESPN Wisconsin.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Have you been thinking of updating your bath or shower? Well, Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for 150 years. Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote and tell them that I sent you. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Kessler's works with crazy genius diamond cutters around the globe.
But we keep our crazy genius jewelry designers right here at home, where we can keep them busy.
Monica, I heard we gave our design team a challenge.
Yes, we gathered all 14 of them together and made their eyes sparkle with joy.
What did you say?
I said we wanted each of them to design a pendant that looks and feels like springtime.
Springtime! New life!
14 designers? 14 pendants?
Yes, and we manufactured exactly 8 copies of each of these 14 designer pendants.
There are only 112 of these limited edition pendants in the whole world?
Yep, and they will sell for only $299.
Wow.
One last thing, we're donating all the profits to the charity of the designer's choice.
Being employee-owned gives us the freedom to do fun things.
And then we share those things with you, the people we love.
See the crazy genius designer pendants at KesslersDiamonds.com.
That's right, move on over, summer. Football season is here. It's Boucher Automotive Football Kickoff Week right here on 94.5 ESPN. We're talking big-name guests, big-time analysis, and all the football talk you could want. You already know where to go for your football fix, and you can head to Boucher Automotive for your next ride. With 16 different new car brands and over 35 pre-owned brands to choose from. Boucher Automotive, we are driven by you. Keep it parked right here during Boucher Automotive Football Kickoff Week on 94.5 ESPN. Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
All right, Jesse. This is our Wilde and Tausch Survivor. No, you're going to have to explain this to me. Also, we want to stay on YouTube, so I'm assuming you're not playing like Survivor's theme music, just to be sure that we're not going to get in trouble.
Sure am. Yeah, we're going to play it. Yep.
Okay, well, that'll help our numbers.
Okay, so are you familiar with the concept of an NFL Survivor pool?
No,
have you ever
tell me
been
more.
part of it?
Explain it to me.
So in an NFL Survivor pool, it's one of my favorite contests every year, even though I lose like week 2 or 3. So in an NFL Survivor pool, you get as many people as you want sign up for it. And it's winner take all, whatever your entry is or however you want to play.
Okay.
So you pick one winner on the NFL schedule for that week. So week 1, you pick one winner. If that team wins, you advance. If that team loses, you're out. You can't pick that team twice. So if you pick the Kansas City Chiefs in week 1 to win tonight against the Detroit Lions, as long as this contest goes on for the year, you cannot pick the Chiefs again. So there's a strategy into, like, when do I pick the bad teams? When do I pick the teams that aren't expected to be as good? So that
and the spread is not relevant, right? It's just win.
Correct.
Just win,
Just
baby.
win. All we care about is winning the game. Don't have to beat the spread. Don't have to do anything like that. Win and move on. So what we will do for the course of this, I've wanted to do this for a few years, and I always forget about it until the start of the season. So at least I texted you the night before this time.
I'm nervous.
Yeah. Hey, we got the theme song.
Are we going to run through all the lineups, or is this...
you want the matchups? I can do the matchups quick for you. All right, ready?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready.
Lions, Chiefs tonight.
Okay, I want to make sure you tell me who it's at.
Lions at Chiefs tonight.
What's the spread?
I don't have spreads. I thought you just wanted the matchups. The spreads don't matter. You said the spreads don't matter.
All right, they do. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
I can get you the spreads if you want them.
Just I got the spreads. Go ahead. I pulled it up.
Yeah, I'm sure. We're all watching you. We know you did it. You're
just
on video.
Okay.
Why don't you just tell me what the spread is? Panthers at Falcons.
Okay.
Texans at Ravens.
Oh.
Okay.
Bengals at Browns.
Oh.
Ooh, tough one.
Jaguars at Colts.
Okay.
Buccaneers at Vikings.
Oh.
Yep, got mine.
Titans at Saints.
Okay.
49ers at Steelers.
Okay.
And Cardinals at Commanders.
Wow.
All right, I'm good.
Got mine.
I have mine. I got mine too.
All right, so for everyone on the video stream, we're going to do this tribal council style like they do on Tausch and I's favorite
You say the
show.
Commanders
There's
are
still
at the
7
Cardinals?
more games.
Hey, doesn't matter. Commanders at Cardinals or Cardinals at Commanders?
Dude, if you're going to ask me to do it, you got to listen when I say it.
What are you like going through like a midlife crisis? You're dropping bros and saying dude and where are we at? You're 52 years old, man.
51.
Bro. Yo, bro. Is it Commanders at whatchamacall? I believe in home field advantage.
It is Cardinals at Commanders.
Like I said.
Oh, gosh. Oh. Okay, that changes.
Now, wait a minute.
Well,
wait. Can people like that? That was the one I was going to pick.
Okay.
So now are you telling me that that we can't all pick the same games?
We can all pick the same team if we
all
want
can pick
to.
the same game if we want. Yeah.
Yep. That's
like I think the Commanders are going to stink, but I think they're going to stink less than the Cardinals, and they're playing at home. So I'm going to pick the Commanders because I don't think I'm going to want to pick them many other times this season. Am I understanding how to play the game?
That is how you play the game. Mm-hmm.
That is.
Yep.
So,
are you going to read the rest of the games, or are we like everybody's where they need to be? All right.
Packers at Bears, Raiders at Broncos, Dolphins at Chargers.
God, you'd love reading on the Raiders.
Eagles at
Nothing
Patriots.
brings you more happiness.
Rams at Seahawks, Cowboys at Giants, and Bills at Jets to wrap it up on Monday night.
All right, so I got a fancy sound effect and everything. Write your vote down, and then we're going to do it on the video stream. Hold it up to the camera like they do at Tribal Council. Tausch.
Okay.
What is your vote? I can't read it. What is that? The Vikings? No, Washington Football Team. WFT.
Correct.
Okay. That's not the name of the team.
Yeah, their ownership is changing the name again. It is not going to go back to the Redskins. It's going to move forward. They're not going backwards, so I'm going back to Washington Football Team until they figure out what they're calling it. WFT is who I'm picking.
Tausch picks the Washington Football Commanders.
And to that I say WTF.
Uh-huh. Jason, who is your vote?
I say blank you. How's that?
Oh, the Commanders.
Good. Yours is a lot better than mine.
Oh, yeah.
Really nice artwork. It's nice.
All right, you ready for mine?
Well, now we picked the same one. That's not fun.
I almost picked Washington.
That's why I asked.
That's okay. It gets complex later.
You said you had yours after I read Buccaneers at Vikings.
It gets complex
I like the Vikings,
later.
but I feel like I'll like the Vikings later at a different game. So I kind of agree with you.
I already hate this.
All right, I have my vote.
It makes me want to do it more.
Seahawks, baby.
Yeah, that's a good
Sladdle.
That's a good
Seattle
pick.
at home
That's
against
a good
the Rams.
Pick, Jesse.
Rams stink
Real
too.
good pick.
No Cooper Kupp. Seattle big. Yep.
Yeah, but Seattle, they might be good this year. You might want them later, right? Am I not understanding?
They might be. I'm saying I don't think they're going to be that good this year. I think the Rams are terrible, so I'm taking the sure bet week 1.
All right, so there you have it. We have 3 people playing, and 2 of us picked the same game.
It'll get more fun as you get into the season. We'll keep track of the standings.
So what happens if the Commanders get beat this weekend? Then is the game over for the year? Or do we
so I say we keep going, but we have to come up with whoever gets the most wrong has to deliver lunch for the others or something. We got to come up with something.
I'm on board with that. Yeah. I think it's wins on the year. So because it's going to happen by about week 3, we're all going to be eliminated. Who lasts longer? That's one. You get a point. Whoever finishes the lowest point total buys lunch for the other group.
Okay. Steak lunches. All right, so we've established the rules now. Tausch will improve them in a couple weeks and change everything because that's what he does. But we have our picks for this week.
Yes, Washington Football Team.
Although
for everybody playing,
crossed out.
I like the Vikings and Jaguars also. I think these are 3 winners this weekend for everybody that's looking for a couple winners.
All right. Well, this is what we're doing, and we'll see if Tausch is raising an ice-cold Blue Mountain Coors Light in victory when we get. But then I'll win too, so I'll be holding up a bubbler drink, I guess. But you'll be holding up a Coors Light.
Winners win, and winners drink Coors Light, brewed the 3-step cold process. Cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged because it's made to chill. It's born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. I didn't pick Denver this week, but I did pick my beer, and that is in Colorado in 1978. Coors Light is refreshing. It's crisp, only 102 calories. That's why it is Coors Light when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
So we give Bill Barnwell a hard time around here because he writes very long. But he has really good ideas. I don't think this is one of them. I'll explain next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you. It's finally game week here on ESPN Wisconsin.
For me, the expectation is to go out and try to win every game that we play.
The Green and Gold begin their next era Sunday in Chicago with a rivalry game.
The Bears still suck.
Playing the same way I play in practice is a big thing for me. I think that was the biggest thing for me, and I did that. I felt comfortable.
We're going to keep pushing them and push them as far as they can go.
Join Alex Strofe and Kyle Bruston Northman on Sunday starting at noon for Green Bay Game Day. Presented by Island Resort and Casino.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. If you're hosting a football party or heading to Green Bay or Madison for the game and a tailgate, we'll help you with your beverage game plan. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Whether you need an ice cold keg, a bottle of your favorite wine, a unique craft brew, or hard-to-find liquor, we have everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
We'll get you all set up with your favorite beverages for your football party and save you a lot of money. Open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. Family owned and operated since 1960. See all of our weekly specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
Game week is finally here, this time for real, as the Packers gear up for their season opener against the Bears in Chicago on Sunday. As for the new QB under center, head coach Matt LaFleur is happy to report that so far, Jordan Love is the guy they thought he would be.
I just think that kind of what we saw in practice is, translated to the game, and that's what you're always trying to find. And I wouldn't say there was anything new, so to speak. It was just more or less what we see on a daily basis.
It's the Packers and Bears at Soldier Field on Sunday, a 3:25 kickoff.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Is joint pain, soreness, and achiness getting in the way of your best life? Football legend Emmitt Smith refuses to back down to pain. That's why he's a huge advocate for QC Kinetics and their natural approach to getting you relief.
Look, we get one trip around, so I wouldn't ever let pain stop me from hanging out with my race team, traveling with my family, or golfing with my friends.
Emmitt's got it right. And QC Kinetics uses regenerative medicine to relieve that never-ending pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. And the best news, there's nothing foreign being introduced into your body. Just your own body's natural healing properties. No surgery or no downtime.
If pain's holding you back, maybe it's tennis, pickleball, running, hiking, or spending time with special people in your life, what are you waiting for? This is precious time. Get out there and get over to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and you gotta love finding change in the junk drawer, or even better, a 20 in your laundry or pants pocket, right? But the best source of extra cash may be in the walls of your home. All right, wait. Now, put down the sledgehammer and tap into the value of your house by setting up a home equity line of credit and experience a state of tranquility, knowing funds are there when you need them. Get started at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
So here's the piece that Bill Barnwell did at ESPNWisconsin.com and ESPN.com. It is a path to the Super Bowl for all 32 teams. Tausch,
that's dumb. Bill,
you've told us that there are teams that know going into the season. Now, he points out, and rightfully so, that the 1999 Rams were 4-12 the year before, and they lost Trent Green. And lo and behold, Kurt Warner, like an actual Disney movie, springs up, and they end up doing what they did that year, and he ends up the MVP. I get it. There are those stories.
That was on Netflix, though. It wasn't even a Disney movie. Was it on Netflix?
Yeah, it has a Disney-style story, but no, I don't know if it was on Netflix either, because I've wanted to see it, and it's been hard to find on a streaming service, as you are familiar.
It's not as good as you'd hope.
The guy that plays Steve Mariucci doesn't look like Steve Mariucci, by the way.
I didn't think Kevin James should have been Kurt Warner. I think that was ridiculous.
You're mixing movies.
I understand.
I know you know that. So anyway, So, like, for instance, because I'm a link clicker and I'm a reader. The Arizona Cardinals, there is no path to the Super Bowl.
No, it's
None.
not. They don't even want to be. They
are tanking on purpose.
For sure.
Because Kyler Murray has a torn ACL, and they don't think he's any good anyway. They want to be at the top of the draft. Right? That's what they want.
Arizona, so I appreciate Barnwell always trying to come up with content. It's not easy, as we can tell by today's show. So you look at what is the deal? You can't take a joke anymore, huh? You're so sensitive. You got old boy all riled you up, and now you're all riled up for the show. Arizona, no chance. Houston Texans, no chance. Tennessee Titans, no chance. Indianapolis Colts, no chance. They could bring in Peyton Manning, Reggie Wayne, everybody else, and they're still not winning, okay? So there's 5 or 6 teams with no chance, and then there's probably 15 to 16 teams that I would say little to no chance.
Okay.
Realistically, 10 teams have a shot, which, by the way, in other sports, baseball's an outlier, but in the NBA, 3 or 4 teams. Football's probably got somewhere between 10 and 12 teams that can win a championship this season. A lot of teams, there's 5 or 6 teams that aren't even, their operandi this year is to not even win so that they can get one of these 2 young quarterbacks.
So you were right. 32 Arizona, 31 Houston, 30 Indianapolis, 29 Tampa Bay, 28 the Rams, 27 the Raiders, 26 your Washington football team, as you've taken to calling them, 25 the Patriots, 24 the Titans, 23 the Panthers, 22 your Green Bay Packers. Chance to win Super Bowl 58, 0.5%. And that has them 22nd, by the way.
Snap.
Chance to make the playoffs, 30.2. Too high, too low, or just right in your mind, Mark Tauscher?
Chance to make the playoffs at 32? That's about right. And I think from a Super Bowl, even last year and in the Rodgers heyday, the Super Bowl was probably a little less than 20% when a season started because of all the things that can go wrong and, you lose one game. I think I would say that's about right. 33, I would probably go a little bit higher, but I'm a little bit of a homer. I would say there's a 40, I would say it's a little bit worse than a coin flip.
What does 565 Analytics, what does their gut tell us?
You'd have to ask Jerry-Odd, as he put it. I'm an absentee owner, which is fair.
No doubt.
Jerry-Odd can tell us that. But, yeah, I think it's a coin flip type deal if they're going to be a playoff team. They're right there. If again, I really believe that this weekend's game is going to steer this team because it's going to take a while to build. And you can sometimes speed up processes by gaining confidence quickly. And the only way to gain confidence in this league is to have success and to win.
I won't read everything that Bill Barnwell writes about the Packers. He does say that it's on the defense and it's on Joe Barry to turn that group into a good group. But here's what he writes at the end. For what it's worth, I'm more optimistic than FPI, which is their analytics group, and think the Packers will be the 4th best team in the NFC.
Very possible.
Wow. Making a deep playoff run might require them to avoid their old nemesis from San Francisco. All right, Bill, we're going to make note of this. 4th best team and potential deep playoff run if they avoid San Francisco. That's what he's saying here. So we're all about accountability, and I am happy when they go 9-8.
He's also
and
got him 22. He's got him 22 on his list, so he doesn't even have him in the playoffs.
I guess he
both sides of his mouth.
Well, chance to win the Super Bowl and playoff berth are very different. Because
Jesse, as I scroll
how many
up here,
playoff teams are there?
There are
How many
7
playoff teams
Tausch.
are there?
Yeah, 7 in the
There's
NFC.
14 total in the league.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Again, help me out because I get confused on this sometimes. So if you're 22nd, that's higher than 14, so that means you're not in the playoffs, right?
It's more than 14, yes, correct. Yeah.
It's higher than.
Lower than. They're lower than 14th in the
Can
season.
I
if he's got
explain
him
to
as
you
the
why I
fourth
think that
best,
might be?
Yeah, you can. Let me finish.
The
Otherwise,
NFC
I'll forget
stinks.
my train of thought.
Mm-hmm.
4 teams. They're the 4th best team in the NFC, but they're 22nd overall?
Their 22nd overall chance to win the Super Bowl, because the AFC is so loaded that a team like the Jets or the Bills or the Dolphins could very well miss the playoffs, but be a better team.
Okay, so there's
with
not
a chance
8
to
teams.
win the
There's
Super
not-
Bowl. Yeah.
There's not 8 teams that Barnwell's got that are ahead of the Packers at 22 in the NFC. Is that accurate?
I got to be honest, I have not crunched the numbers, but he does have different percentages. He has teams with lower playoff likelihoods higher than other teams in his rankings. So I do think Jesse's right about what his thought process is, but I'm Team Tausch on this. They're the 4th best team in the NFC, and you've got them at 22nd. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It's the Wilde hedge. It's the Wilde hedge.
He's got them making a deep playoff run if they avoid the 49ers. Not buying it. All right, so that's fine. I look forward to seeing how the season plays out.
That's fine.
Hey, I think they could be the 7th playoff seed in the NFC. There are people that are telling me 10 wins and they're going to win the division. Again, hope they're right. Great story for this season.
That's very doable. By the way, very doable. That part's very doable, but then don't put them at 22. That's all. You can't have it both ways.
You can have it both ways with your bathroom remodel. If you want to get great value and get great quality, all you got to do is call the great people at Kohler Services.
And have you been thinking of updating your bath or shower? Well, if you
I have.
Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, family-owned business in Wisconsin for 150 years. You think premium quality Wisconsin brand Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast professional installation and care for life. You can start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote. Tell them Old T sent you. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
We'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour because here's the thing about this wide receiver injury situation. You can't say, oh, well, you'll just lean more on the tight ends. They're more experienced. Nope. There'll be 2 very experienced tight ends. They play for the Bears now. Mercedes Lewis and Robert Tonyan. We'll talk about where the Packers are at that position and how that doesn't necessarily help what they're dealing with at wide receiver to kick off the 11 o'clock hour, which we will do in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you'll always find great deals. Right now, get even greater savings store-wide with our lowest prices of the year. Like 20% off Carhartt denim pants for the whole family. Assorted Aqua Vista faucets, also 20% off. Select 10 packs of GE LED light bulbs, $14.99. And 3M Ultra Headlight Restoration Kits are on sale, $15.49. Rewards members save an extra buck. Shop Blaine's Farm and Fleet's lowest prices of the year in-store or online and pick up your order in our drive-thru in just 1 hour.
Here in Wisconsin, a good old-fashioned is an important way of life. And that's where my friends at Perky's Old Fashioned come in. Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to tell you about the easiest way to put together an old-fashioned. Perky's offers both brandy and bourbon old-fashioned mixes. And get this, the booze is already in there. Just add the soda of your choosing, and you'll have Grandma Perky's old-fashioned in the palm of your hand. Perky's is locally made and great for get-togethers of all kinds. Get perked up and head to perkysspirits.com for your nearest Perky's location.
Football, free beer, and live radio. The pro football season kicks off this Thursday night, and we are going to be out at Maddie's Barn Grill to celebrate. Join Homer and Tony from 2 to 4 and Scalzo and Bruss from 4 to 6 as they hang out at Maddie's on Thursday. Stop by for free beer from Eagle Park Brewery and Michelob Ultra between 2 and 4 and enter to win Bloody Marys for a year. Watch the game on the Big Backyard's 18-foot LED screen. Football season is here, and it starts at 2 o'clock this Thursday at Maddie's Bar and Grill in New Berlin.
Are you looking for the perfect restaurant for your next night out? Then make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate, your next dinner destination. Specializing in artisanal American cuisine, Aria features carefully prepared seasonal entrees along with a robust selection of craft cocktails, wine, and local beer. Join them on Sundays for the restaurant's famous trademark chicken, served family style with sides like mashed potatoes, goat cheese biscuits, and more. Make your plans today to dine at Aria. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com. That's aria@stkate.com.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Hour. I'm already worried about this double trivia thing. This feels like I just feel a train derailment. Like there's going to be an answer that's wrong out of one of the 6 questions, right? And then we're going to have controversy there. I'm going to read the wrong question to the wrong contestant or something. We're going to cross over.
You know what? I'll even give you this. One of them is a Wisconsin geography category because we didn't do it on Wednesday.
Oh, my God, and one isn't.
So one of them, Tausch will ask, and the other, Tausch will play along.
Oh, my gosh.
I like that a lot.
Maybe for simplicity's sake, he should play along with both players.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
And I'll just do all 6 questions.
Love it.
You're welcome for my service. So, Tausch, when you, and I know this is not apples to apples, right? But do you remember that game?
Great game. Apples to apples, great game.
Past its prime.
I think you were injured for it, if I remember correctly. I don't know if you help my memory out here. I don't know if you traveled there or not, but in New England in 2002, Terry Glenn returns to New England.
Yes, I was out.
You had suffered your knee injury in New Orleans in like week 2. Did you make the trip or were you at home?
I did not make the trip, no.
So you guys go out, and that was the year that you guys had all kinds of injuries. That was the year that Mike Flanagan, your starting center, Pro Bowl center, had to go play left tackle because you lost then you lost Cliffy, all kinds of problems. Problems in the secondary, problems at wide receiver. But the secondary issues were to such a degree that you guys signed 2 guys on Wednesday. Bryant Westbrook, a former high draft pick by the Lions out of Texas, and Todd Franz, who was hanging drywall with his father-in-law when the Packers called to say, hey, we'd like to sign you, and you're playing on Sunday. And they went in and they beat the defending champs and Tom Brady. Bryant Westbrook had an interception in that game. It was one of the most memorable regular season games because no one gave you guys a chance, right? This is not apples to apples or oranges or even all fruit, I think. But what happens when you are decimated at a position? How do other positions pick up the slack from your experience in the NFL? Because that day you guys ran the ball well. Favre played mistake-free football. Terry Glenn had a good day against his old team, and you won even though you were down to 2 guys that weren't even on the team 3 days earlier.
Yeah, I think every week you go into it, and your coordinators they'll never say, well, this game's going to be on the defense. But I think everybody understands with how the game plan is that you're required to do. You always are going to want to do your best, but I think you always understand what an opponent's strengths are. So if an opponent has 2 really good edge rushers, okay, that means we need to run the football more. We need to make sure we're not making mistakes. If they're really good in the middle of a defense, we'll run the ball to the outside. You try and figure out where your matchups are and what you need to do. And then I think coaches have a really good idea of how a game is going to play out. I think they know if they need to score 30 or if they can get by winning 20-10. I think that's the mentality, and I think coaches, after watching things and game planning it, they will look at that and they'll say, well, you know what, we're down wideouts this week. Don't be surprised if you see a U63 package, or you bring in Yash. You could look at this and say, we're going to utilize, we have 10 O-linemen. Let's utilize them. We got a bunch of young players. All right, we got 2 really good tailbacks. Maybe we put both of them back there. Maybe we put Josiah DeGuara as up on the line of scrimmage blocking tight end more than a fullback. We try and mix and match and do the things to utilize the personnel that are available to you and try and execute that game plan. So if I'm Matt LaFleur and I get in and I get the report from Flea, hey, you got our 2 wideouts hammies are down. Don't know if they're going to be able to play. All right, I'm not going to do a bunch of 4 and 5 wide sets as far as my game plan package. Matter of fact, I'm going to go down to 1 and 2. I'm going to say, okay, we got AJ, we got Aaron Jones. We got another tight end that we can bring in as a blocker from the offensive line room. Let's develop our package around that, and then we base everything out. So coaches always will look at, well, we don't have these guys. There were times we couldn't practice certain too tight packages because we didn't have 2 tight ends, or we didn't have enough wideouts. So you have to be flexible enough and nimble enough and trust your personnel that you have available on that Sunday to go out and execute a game plan that you think can win you a football game.
So if you don't have your number 1 and number 2 wide receiver, it would logically be, wouldn't you agree, hey, we're going to have to lean on our running backs and our tight ends. Interestingly enough, they're very green at tight end too. Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave, both rookies. Ben Sims, rookie. Josiah DeGuara, fullback who can move back to his original tight end position. Did you know, Mark Tauscher, did you know that since the NFL-AFL merger, and this is a stat from our buddy Wes Hodkiewicz of Packers.com, only 3 tight ends in Packers history, so since 1970, which is 50-plus years, only 3 rookie tight ends have started the opener. And I would have said that one Daniel Bubba Franks would be one of them, and he's not. That's incredible. As a first-round pick in 2000 in your draft class. Josiah DeGuara in 2020, Richard Rodgers in 2014, and Jackie Harris in 1990. Well, Luke Musgrave's going to become the next one. He'll be the 4th. What's realistic to expect from Luke Musgrave in this game as a rookie, as a guy working through his own inexperience, if they don't have Watson and Dobbs?
I think obviously you would think he'll get more looks, whether or not he's going to be open and what kind of route concepts they have. But I would expect for him to have a couple of bad plays on the run blocking unit, whether it's cutting off a backside end. I can't imagine, unless he's a much better blocker than it's being reported, I don't think they're going to sit there and try to have him match up with a DN one-on-one and say, go ahead, go to work.
You wouldn't think so.
That's putting your players in a position to fail. But there's no reason he can't go and have a big play. He's fast. He's an athlete. He's been the fastest player on the field, is what I was told.
So we've been told.
With some of the analytics. So I would think you're going to get a hit of good, and hit some good, hit some bad. And that's standard protocol when you're talking about a young player, is that you're going to have some inconsistency. But what you want to see is some splash. You want to see some big play capabilities, and if you see that, everybody's going to be happier than a clam.
Yeah,
and by the way, I think everybody's looking at, the Bears got some big matchup. Their tight end position is so much better. Green Bay didn't want either of you guys that you got there.
It's true. No doubt. We will see what happens on Sunday. But I do wonder, and I know that I have been a Robert Tonyan guy, and I may have compared him to George Kittle while he was catching all those touchdowns in 2020, which was premature. but you went through your 2 ACLs. You've taught us that first year back, you're not back. You're out there, but you're not back. And last year, he still caught 55 passes for the Packers. Robert Tonyan did. That's nothing to sneeze at. I'm really eager to see, because that's a guy that's got a lot to prove. And I'm sure he's excited to be a Bear, and I'm sure he's excited to go against the Packers. And if he's back to being what he was in 2020, he's going to make them regret not bringing him back. I think that's fair.
For a day. Yeah, for a day.
Luke
Musgrave's as good as everybody hopes. By the way, Luke Musgrave's as good as everybody hopes. Or ain't anybody going to be saying, bring back Tonyan. I can assure you of that.
Well, if Tucker Kraft takes a while coming from South Dakota State and having had a meh training camp, if it takes him a while, I'm thinking that maybe a Bobby Tonyan as the other tight end and 2 tight end sets might not have been the worst thing in the world, even with Luke Musgrave on your team. We will all find out together starting on Sunday. Now, Jesse, how are we going to handle this trivia thing?
Are you stressed?
I am stressed. Thank you for caring. Or you don't really care. You just wanted to confirm.
I don't.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
So I'm going to ask all 6 questions. We're going to go back and forth. Tausch is going to help, but not really help our 2 contestants.
Video stream help with this and this. And
another advantage of being on YouTube right there. Subscribe, rate, and review on YouTube. We'll take callers 10 and 11, because number 10 and number 11 may hook up a lot on Sunday for the Packers. Jordan Love to Jaden Reed. 10 and 11, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 10 and caller 11 for
if this
dueling.
Goes well, this could be a new feature, and I'm all for it. I like this.
I think the goal would be to not be in this situation in future shows, but the Boldathon is what it is. You know, it took precedent yesterday, and that's why we're at where we're at.
All right. Well, yeah, I definitely don't want to do this on a regular basis. We have to play every day.
We haven't even done it yet. It might be the best thing ever.
Yeah, you might think this is star-spangled awesome, to steal your quote. That's what you might.
You know what is star-spangled awesome? The fact that Steinhoffels has extended their Labor Day mattress sale. You can shop it today right now. Save up to $700 on adjustable base sets. Plus, get $300 in Steinhoffels cash. Tempur-Pedic Queen mattresses start at just $42 a month when you use Steinhoffels 72-month financing. Tempur-Pedics are designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting the body as no other mattress can. So shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Trivia. Callers 10 and 11, 844-770-3776. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. That's right, move on over, summer. Football season is here. It's Boucher Automotive Football Kickoff Week right here on 94.5 ESPN. We're talking big-name guests, big-time analysis, and all the football talk you could want. You already know where to go for your football fix, and you can head to Boucher Automotive for your next ride. With 16 different new car brands and over 35 pre-owned brands to choose from. Boucher Automotive, we are driven by you. Keep it parked right here during Boucher Automotive Football Kickoff Week on 94.5 ESPN.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
It's WTMJ's Brandon Stein for Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson is hosting the second annual Medal of Honor ride this Saturday. Join NAM Knight's Brew City chapter for a ride from the War Memorial Center in Milwaukee to Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc. Enjoy music, food, and vendors supporting our veterans' needs. Registration begins at 9 a.m. and the ride leaves at 11 a.m. Check out their website or like and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and online at WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level. They came in ahead of time, make sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window. They're great professionals, Gina, and some of the best in the world at what they do.
Right now, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. Guys, did you know that the stored belly fat reduces your free testosterone? The more the belly grows, the harder it is to drop, mostly because of the decrease in free T. It's a vicious cycle that men are losing, and unfortunately, everyone can see it. Mentality breaks that cycle with semaglutide, an industry-changing weight loss medication that can help you lose up to 15% of your body weight while preserving your testosterone. Join our over 20,000 clients to look and feel the way you deserve. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For over 90 years, UW Credit Union has helped Wisconsinites achieve their financial goals at every stage of life, offering great rates for greater possibilities. Join today at uwcu.org. The Wisconsin football team has opened the season 1-0 after Saturday's win over Buffalo and prepare for Week 2 at Washington State, a team that beat the Badgers at Camp Randall Stadium last year. Senior running back Ches Malusi says this year to expect a battle between two good football teams.
And I would just say they're all around sound football team. And once you start breaking a little bit more film down, they're going to see that, on come Saturday, it's going to be a good game.
That's Malusi following his best collegiate game with 157 yards and 2 touchdowns against Buffalo. Find the full interview on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Should've known by the way you passed me by, there was something in your eyes and it wasn't right. I should've walked, but I never had the chance. Everything got out of hand and I let it slide. Now I to blame for falling for your stupid games. I wish my life could be the way it was before.
All right, it's time for trivia. A little behind the scenes, Jesse said, "Are we ready?" And I said, "No, but we're going to do it anyway." So here's how we'll do this. There are 2 categories. One is Wisconsin Geography Wednesday on Thursday. The other category, Yar! Even though the Pirates series is now over, that is also a day late. And hopefully no one is $1 short on their answer. So the other category is Pirate Trivia, 1 voyage late.
2 legendary categories going at it here.
So here's what we're going to do. We've got 2 contestants. We've got Will in Hartford and Tex in a working van. Now, Will was first at caller 10. Mm-hmm. So, Will, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
All right, so as the 10th caller, you're going to get first choice, but let me first say hi to Tex. Tex, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I am fantastic. Thank you very much.
All right, so Will, you get first choice.
Can Tex take us inside his working van a little bit? Because I'm fascinated.
Sure. Can we
No, I want to hear about it.
But we're going to talk to Tex when it's his turn.
Well,
you can ask him then.
You don't introduce somebody and then just say, shut up, and we're moving on. Like, where Tex?
Did you ever watch Jeopardy? They do like 15 questions, and then they talk to all the contestants.
Okay. Hey, Trebek, Go on. I didn't mean to step on your toes. Go ahead.
You're not even doing anything this segment, and you're still messing it up.
Yeah, that's why it's going to be a good segment.
All right, Will, you get to pick the category. Do you want Wisconsin trivia Wednesday on a Thursday or Pirate trivia after the Brewers-Pirates series is over? Which category do you want?
Tough call.
The Wisconsin geography trivia.
Okay.
Smart.
All right.
Very smart.
So we will start with Will and question number 1 in Wisconsin geography trivia. Then we will do question 1 for Pirate trivia. And Tausch, you can get an inside look at Texas Van.
I'll be honest. I'm picturing one thing right now. I'm going to be curious if I'm right.
All right. Well, we'll get to. So Tex, hold on. Here we go. Question 1 for Will in Wisconsin Trivia Wednesday on a Thursday. After you stop, Will, at the new Fleet Farm store in Muskego, which of these is not the name of a lake on which you can take your new fishing gear out to use? All right, which one of these is not the real name of a lake? Big Muskego Lake, Little Muskego Lake, or Medium Muskego Lake?
I'm going to go with B.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, I say this.
Oh, no.
I say this in the kindest possible way. Do you really think they have a big, and not a little, but a medium mosquito lake?
It's the Goldilocks.
That was an oversight.
All right. Okay. All right. We'll bounce back. Tex, before we get to question 1, Tausch would like to discuss your working van, if he could, please.
Take us inside the van.
Down by the river.
Well, we got a Chevy Savannah. I believe it's a 2500, 2016. Okay. She drives pretty well. It's white on the outside, gray on the inside. I like to keep a clean and tidy van. I don't like looking for my tools and parts. So we've got some shelving, and we've got one of those little pull-out shelving units. You can pull it out of the back of the van. It's got all my tools.
Oh, nice.
Whoa, Nelly! And it's my home away from home.
So is it one of those where you got the high ceiling so you could like put a chair, watch a little TV if you're taking a break, or is it just all about work?
And unfortunately, no. This one is all about work. I can stand, but I'm crouched to about a 4.5 foot height.
How tall are you,
Sit and watch. I am 6 feet.
All right, and what is your annual income and your Social Security number? All right, so, Tex, question number 1 for you.
Nelly!
In the pirate category is this. What was the not-so-complex name of the old stadium the Pittsburgh Pirates and Pittsburgh Steelers used to share from 1970 through 2000? Was it called Downtown Stadium, Three Rivers Stadium, or the Shipyard?
I believe that was Three Rivers Stadium.
All right, we've got one on the board out of the 6. We got 1 for 1 for Tex, 0 for 1 for Will. Now we go back to Will for question number 2 in Wisconsin Trivia Wednesday on Thursday. All right,
doing
Will.
a hell of a job, Trebek. Hey, doing a hell of a job so far.
All right.
I appreciate the compliment.
You're doing great too, Tausch.
Question 2, Will. Which of these Wisconsin cities is not located within 20 miles of Wisconsin Dells? All right, which one of these cities not located within 20 miles of the Dells? Is it Baraboo, Wisconsin Rapids, or Reedsburg?
I'm going to go with Wisconsin Rapids.
Way to bounce
Yes, sir.
back. Nicely done.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now back to text for question number 2 in the pirate category. And by the way, I just want to make sure, Jesse, you're doing a heck of a job switching music in between.
This really makes this even better, doesn't it?
You're doing a great job. All right, here we go. Text question 2. Which college football team, nicknamed the Pirates, was swabbed? I think you swabbed the poop deck, Jesse. I don't think you swap the poop deck.
I've heard it both ways.
Was swabbing the poop deck after a
You're going to swap it if you're on that Delta flight, am I right?
Thanks, Tausch.
Was swabbing the poop deck after a 30-3 loss at number 2 Michigan to begin the season last Saturday. All right, who lost to Michigan 30-3 on Saturday? Is it East Carolina, East Tennessee State, or Gardner-Webb?
Oh, man. I was actually way up in cable last week and doing some stuff. I couldn't catch any games, so I'm going to take a guess at this one and go with the pirate-themed Garver State.
They don't have cable in cable.
Or Peacock, apparently. I had to stream that one.
All right. The correct answer, the East Carolina Pirates. Jesse, I'm curious, are East Tennessee State and Gardner-Webb also Pirates?
I don't know. Gardner-Webb was just fun.
Yes, no, I
They
figured
probably are, and then Tex is right. So we'll have to.
Well, no.
We'll do a little
Only
fact
one team lost 30-3 to Michigan on Saturday, and I can promise you it was East Carolina.
All right. Here we go. Now we've both gotten one right and one wrong, so let's go. Question 3 for each.
Jesse.
Back to Will the Thrill for question number 3.
What a worker. God, you are grinding.
All right.
Would you stop with the peanut gallery? You're supposed to be playing along and helping. Question 3.
It would have been a lot easier if you would have just asked the one set of the questions, but since you can't do a pirate voice and you like Wisconsin geography, you've really put us in this spot.
Those are both very fair points.
All right, here you go, Will.
Can't argue with that.
Let's finish with another correct answer. Question 3 for you is this: longitudinally, which of these Wisconsin cities is located the farthest west? Farthest west.
Okay.
Your choices are Black River Falls, Greenwood, or Whitehall. Farthest west. Black River Falls, Greenwood, or Whitehall.
Well, that's a good one. I'm going to take a stab start, and I'm going to go with A.
Black River Falls is Will's answer. It is not correct. Tausch?
It's not Greenwood. I had it down to Black River Falls, or is it Whitnell?
Whitehall.
Whitehall? I don't know where Whitehall is.
I don't either. But it's, you know where it is? It's correct. That's where it is. Whitehall, correct answer.
West of Black River Falls.
No. Am I sure? No.
Yeah,
Jesse says it is.
You're not doing anything. Look it up on a map right now while we play the rest of
I
this.
think Black River Falls is further west, so I think you're wrong. That's what I think.
You have no.
I agree with
nothing
the guy Will.
All right, well.
Nothing. You getting 6 questions
All
right
you
in a
have
day?
is an
You can't get
opinion.
3.
Like, look
you
something
can't get
up.
3 questions right in a day, and now you're asking to get 6 right? The odds are you're wrong on this one, so we'll fact check that, and then we'll see.
Well, you may get a correct answer later in the day. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's right. I love that Jesse acts all insulted. He hasn't gotten a full week right in probably, 3 months?
Maybe longer. All right, here we go. Let's go back to Tex for the final pirate question. Tex, the question is this. I'm not doing the pirate voice for this.
Do it.
Question.
Come on, you haven't done it yet. Last one.
Arr, shiver me timbers. It's a leftover from Wisconsin Geography Wednesday. Which of these Wisconsin high schools co-ops a football team with Pecatonica? Is it Argyle, Arlington, or Marshall? Which of those schools share a football program with Pecatonica?
I think I got this one, but if I could make a suggestion, if you're going to do this in the future, maybe if one contestant gets their question wrong, you give the other contestant a chance to get that question right for extra credit.
Oh,
yeah.
Throwing that out
Tex,
there.
Extra credit.
Hey, Tex.
Wow,
Tex.
Give him an extra entry for trying to improve this trivia.
Tex, that's a great idea. I hope we never do this again. But it is a great idea.
It also violates every rule at ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
All right, who's playing football along with the kids from Pecatonica? Argyle, Arlington, or Marshall?
You know it's Argyle.
I do know. I covered my share of Pecatonica Argyle battles down there. What is it, the Rock River area there? What do we call that region? You are
you
correct.
covered it a bunch. Probably should know that.
That's true. It's been a while since I went to the Peck-Arg matchups that they used to have down
Yar, I do have one question for both Will and Tex before they go, if it's okay with both of them. Since school started this week for the kiddos, what grades are Pirates most proud their kids get in school?
I can't wait to find out.
I know what it is.
Yar, do you, Captain Wilde?
I do. They like it when they get the high C.
Yar, that's what they like. Yar.
All right, Will, Tex, thanks for being good sports. I hope that wasn't as painful for you guys as it was for me. Will, you've got 2 entries. Tex, you've got 3. We appreciate both of your loyalties to the show. Guys, have a great day. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy, guys. Talk soon.
Wow, that went better than I thought it would.
Told you. It went great. It was fun.
My anxiety was at a fever pitch.
We've now given the opportunity to steal entries. Like, that's great.
No, we haven't done that.
As someone who works with someone who's always looking to improve stuff, that was brilliant.
Jesse,
I love that idea.
I legitimately think we need to do only 2 days of trivia now.
Oh, my God.
Tuesdays and Fridays, 2 and 3 different callers, and all available wrong answers are
We're going to have a
available.
day where we have 3 callers now.
Why don't we just have 5 callers and it's just one day of trivia and you can steal and it'd be great.
It's not a bad idea.
Oh, welcome to the Family Feud.
I'll leave it up to you're the one that has to execute, so I'll leave that up to you, Jesse.
All right. Could you tell us a little bit about Tito's Vodka and maybe get me a shot or 2?
I can do that. Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. You be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batched cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 to enter. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and the NFL kicks off this week. Did you bet on the games last week? How did you do? My clients and I won in every sport last Saturday. Free baseball, UFC, and of course football, all making money for myself and my clients. Go to FatJackSports.com before the NFL season gets underway and make money with quality selections. Text to your cell phone or email to you that will get you into profit this weekend. Discipline and consistent winning selections will turn a profit for you. Go to FatJackSports.com to win.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit ZBart.com for more information.
Game week is finally here, this time for real, as the Packers gear up for their season opener against the Bears in Chicago on Sunday. As for the new QB under center, head coach Matt LaFleur is happy to report that so far, Jordan Love is the guy they thought he would be.
I just think that kind of what we saw in practice is, translated to the game, and that's what you're always trying to find. And wouldn't say there was anything new, so to speak. It was just more or less what we see on a daily basis.
It's the Packers and Bears at Soldier Field on Sunday, a 3:25 kickoff.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bark of Greater Milwaukee.
Brian, why are you stacking books on the floor?
I want to stand while I work. Standing desks are all the rage these days.
Well, it's a good thing that these desks move up and down. You did know that, right?
What? They do?
Yeah. We're not messing around here.
This is great. Now, only if I had a chair to swivel around in.
Do you just not pay attention to everybody else's desks?
Well, no wonder I'm not getting much done these days.
Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors, the official moving and furniture provider of GKB Milwaukee.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust for Road America, where vintage racing lives on. Experience the sights, sounds, and smells from motorsport's pioneering age in historic Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Road America's 2023 season offers numerous opportunities to watch vintage race cars take on the iconic 4-mile road course. The Aaron's Art of Wheels Vintage Weekend wraps up the 2023 Road America race season September 15th through the 17th. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, America's national park of speed.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan, Minnesota, and Nevada. Plus, Wisconsin Golf Trips is even booking custom packages for Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, wow. Let's hit them up.
WisconsinGolfTrips.com. Here in Wisconsin, a good old-fashioned is an important way of life. And that's where my friends at Perky's Old Fashioned come in. Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to tell you about the easiest way to put together an old-fashioned. Perky's offers both brandy and bourbon old-fashioned mixes. And get this, the booze is already in there. Just add the soda of your choosing, and you'll have Grandma Perky's old-fashioned in the palm of your hand. Perky's is locally made and great for get-togethers of all kinds. Get perked up and head to perkysspirits.com for your nearest Perky's location.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Like boats in Acapulco, I'm just riding the wave, baby. I'm just a little loco, emotions like a yo-yo. I love you that way. There's something about a crazy love.
Thanks again to Will and Tex for playing trivia with us. That was fun. And I was more anxious than I needed to be. It worked out okay. Although I would have liked more correct answers. And I still want to fact check that Whitehall versus
No,
Black
I
River
just saw the
Falls.
map.
Yeah, here it is.
Somebody threw a map up.
Yep.
Look at right there, Black River Falls.
All
Osseo
right, there you go.
Fairchild, beautiful area.
Now, I guess
Osseo Fairchild, great.
True.
Pie country. This is the pie corridor. You got Rice Lake and you got Osseo. That's what I would consider the pie corridor of Wisconsin.
Huh. Well, then I'm just happy that we had that fact correct. We don't have to issue a correct answer later in the program now to Will. All right, that's it for trivia time now for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Big payday. I'm here.
Jesse, are you getting my pen wave?
No, I wasn't.
I'm giving you my pen
I wasn't
wave.
looking. Sorry. What do you got? What do you got?
Before we do that, and I know we're running out of show, we need to make our Super Bowl predictions. I saw Peter Schrager Because we don't. What are you shaking your head for? The season's opening
before. So wait a minute. Before the Chiefs play the Lions, we have to make our predictions.
You think it is most important that we do this before the Chiefs-Lions game?
Yes.
We can't possibly do it tomorrow.
If the Lions win tonight, there will be people that are going to say the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl.
Not only can we not wait until like the final segment of the show to do it, we have to do it now.
Right now.
Right this very second.
That's fine. I didn't have anything great anyway. Go ahead.
That's what I saw the show sheet. I'm trying to help Jesse. He's all stressed out about the trivia and everything else. Peter Schrager, because I don't know about you guys, I do not have ESPN right now. And there's different ways because we're Spectrum, whatever it is. So I'm watching Good Morning Football now in order to get ready for the show and some other stuff. Schrags has gotten the last 4 Super Bowl champions correct.
Oh,
4
snap.
in a row. And they make all their predictions the Thursday before the Thursday night game. So we're going to do that.
Two of them, that's not that impressive, actually. Like, 2 of them were the Chiefs. One was Brady and the Buccaneers.
Show me somebody else on video that's done it. Jesse, show me somebody else on video that's done that.
I just don't remember. It's very possible one of us did it.
No, I picked the Packers at least twice, and that did not work out. Even though they should have won it both years, they were the number 1 seed. Mm-hmm. Most important 1 seed in the history of football. But I want to get you guys on the record so that we can kind of play it off and see how our predictions go. Jason?
The last 4 Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
I don't think that's that impressive.
Way to go,
And
Schrags.
I like Schrags. If he had gotten the Eagles beating
Jason,
the Patriots...
Nobody in the National Football League. Nobody.
You don't know that.
Who else has done it? Tell me somebody else has done it.
You have no
you don't think
idea
they'd
if anyone's done it or not.
I didn't know Schrags did it until he just told us.
You know how I know nobody else has done it? Because everybody else would be running that video on 100 loops if they did it.
You wouldn't know this. You wouldn't know this if you weren't watching Good Morning Football.
That's fair, but I did watch it, and I do know it now.
I'm taking the Bengals to beat the Eagles.
You don't think that's impressive that Peter Schrager has called the last...
No.
You just said it's not that impressive.
Because there's not an upset in there. The Chiefs also lost one of the Super Bowls in that group. Right? So picking the Chiefs...
You could have picked the Chiefs every year and shot 50%.
And almost gotten 3 out of 4 right because they lost one other one.
All right, well then pick the right Super Bowl. It's so easy, Jason. Who is it?
I just did. Cincinnati, Philadelphia. Cincinnati beats Philadelphia.
Okay. Bringing it back.
Do I need to write it down?
No, it's okay.
Well, I guess I got to change because I have Washington playing Jacksonville.
Okay.
Wow. You're going to think I'm crazy. I got the New York Jets versus the Eagles. Wow. New York Jets versus the Eagles.
If Aaron Rodgers is in the Super Bowl, are we going?
Yeah.
No, we don't cover that team.
No, we will. No, and we'll go.
Vegas, baby. Vegas. All right. Jesse, we have to know right this
In all fairness...
and by the way, did you pick a winner there? Hey, Schrags, who's winning?
Philadelphia.
Okay.
I have the Kansas City Chiefs opening the season against the team in silver and blue and closing the season against the team in silver and blue. I have the Chiefs and the Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
That's a navy blue, not a Honolulu.
Ooh, can I change mine?
I just said blue. It doesn't matter what shade.
I want to change. Can I change mine?
Yes. Sure.
Right,
yes.
I'm going to take the Bengals beating the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. I like where your head is at, Jesse. I'm with you. Go, Mike, go. How about the Jets and the Cowboys in the Super Bowl? Wouldn't that be something?
Are you changing it again?
Then. No, I'm sticking with Cincinnati, Dallas. Cincinnati beats Dallas. All right.
Whoa, Nelly!
That was one of the greatest Whoa Nellies ever.
The tribe has spoken.
That was fun, wasn't it?
It was. Again, there are opportunities to plan things. Good Morning Football was on like 3 hours ago. This just sprung to mind now?
Could have started with that instead of the fantasy league.
It would have taken less time. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. 94.5 ESPN is your home for Catholic Memorial Football. On Friday night, the Crusaders visit the Pewaukee Pirates.
Touchdown, Marvinius Butler.
Kate Neitzel and Mike Podol get things started Friday at 6:30. Catholic Memorial Football on 94.5 ESPN is brought to you by R&R Insurance, Gerald Nell Inc., Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Wind Dancer Balloon Promotions, Suburban Asphalt, Perspire Sauna Studio, Home Sealed Exteriors, BC Adhesives, and Lake 5 Landscape Supply.
I've been living with the snoring problem nearly my entire life. In fact, I can remember my mother teasing me, saying that I'd snore so loudly that the walls of our house would cave in with each breath.
Fast forward only recently, when Jessica's snoring forced her husband out of their bed and into another room. It's a pretty common situation. We call it a sleep divorce, and that's not good. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent. After Jessica had a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, we found that her snoring problem required a simple solution. In-office balloon sinuplasty. It's a 20-minute procedure, and it works. You won't find it offered by Big Box Healthcare, but you will find it at Advent, where we offer every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution available. You can hear more of Jessica's story at adventknowsjessica.com and take your first step towards breathing well so you can live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. At GMB, we give back by supporting local nonprofits, such as the Alzheimer's Association Wisconsin chapter. Did you know that the local professionals who work at banks are often some of the first people to recognize early signs of Alzheimer's and other dementia in their customers? This can include a customer appearing lost or confused, or showing unusual behaviors with their accounts. At Great Midwest Bank, we take our community responsibilities seriously. We're proud to be a dementia-friendly bank with training from the Waukesha Aging and Disability Resource Center. If we notice potential signs of dementia during a customer visit, we connect with customers and their loved ones. This fall, you can make a difference too. Sign up for the Walk to End Alzheimer's at alz.org/walk. Visit GreatMidwestBank.com to learn more about GMB's commitment to community and our Simply Giving mission.
The NFL is here, and it's all about the sweet offers from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can pocket $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code SNAP to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code SNAP only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
Football, free beer, and live radio. The pro football season kicks off this Thursday night, and we are going to be out at Maddie's Barn Grill to celebrate. Join Homer and Tony from 2 to 4 and Scalzo and Bruss from 4 to 6 as they hang out at Maddie's on Thursday. Stop by for free beer from Eagle Park Brewery and Michelob Ultra between 2 and 4 and enter to win Bloody Marys for a year. Watch the game on the Big Backyard's 18-foot LED screen. Football season is here, and it starts at 2 o'clock this Thursday at Maddie's Barn Grill in New Berlin.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
You've got our Super Bowl prediction. So just to clarify, you picked the Eagles to beat the Jets?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. So Aaron Rodgers gets to another Super Bowl but loses.
That's the plan.
In his first year with the Jets. How happy would you be if it's Jets-Cowboys?
It'd be fun.
In a year where you're not expecting the Packers to be there anyway?
Yeah, it'd be fun if it was Jets-Packers. It'd be, I think, a ton of fun, and I think, we always joke about the NFL having its script written out. It'd be a pretty good script.
Very, very, very frustrating.
Yeah, if I want a script for this year, I still want it to be based in reality, and I think the Cowboys and the Jets both have teams that could potentially be there. Jets have a very difficult schedule, though. And we will see, starting out at home against Buffalo on Monday night. All right, Tausch, I'm going to head over to Lambeau Field. They've got practice again today. We will see if the two wide receivers, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, both sidelined with hamstring injuries, are practicing today. If they are not, do you think we can safely say they ain't playing at this point in their careers?
No, I don't think you could safely say that.
Okay.
But obviously, anyone that's not concerned or thinks this is getting blown out of proportion, which again is ridiculous, it makes you think that even if they are able to suit up, going to be pretty hampered with what they're having. So caution. Today will be an interesting day to kind of give you an idea of where it's
real quick. Marathon, not a sprint. Do you want to win? You want Jordan Love's era to begin with a win? How careful do Flea and those guys have to be about two guys who surely want to play in this game, making sure that you're thinking not just about week 1, but week 17 and 18, etc.?
Out of an abundance of caution is where I think they're going to look at this wide receiving group and figure out, well, you know what, we can beat these guys in a different way, and then wow, everybody's excitement level about Jordan Love. You win without your top two wideouts. That'd
be something.
Be a great start to his campaign.
We'll talk more about it and preview it tomorrow. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
At Blaine's Farm